that. Why is it moved again? Why is it moved? Oh, because I have chat open. Lol. That's why. Fab. Okay, how are you doing, Jaiden?
I'm good.
Good. How's practice been going?
Honestly, like, I haven't really been practicing, like, barely at all.
That's valid. That's valid. Shall we have a little convo about that first? And this isn't me telling you off. This is like a, how can we help to fix this problem? What do you think is making things harder to practice?
I guess just, like, some of it is, like, not knowing, like, exactly, like, what to do, and, like, you know, some of it's just because, like, you know, of life.
Yeah, sure. Okie dokie. Can you remind me what homework I set you last time?
I think, like, the main thing we got was, like, the like, cheese thing that was, like, effective.
Yeah. So we'd have been working on some like larynx height / vocal tract size / resonance, whatever word you want to use for it.
Yeah.
About cheese thing being how we manipulate that. So how have those cheeses been going? Running into any difficulties with it? How's the drill itself been?
No, I think it helps.
Okay. So in terms of knowing what to do, I mean, generally knowing what to do is just going to be like whatever I set you as homework. Is there like something more specific I could help you with there, or?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's completely valid. Okay, well, let's talk about when life stuff gets in the way a little bit. So, common problem. Generally, what I'm leaning towards is if life stuff is becoming like an issue in terms of our practice and it's impacting our practice, then we need to look at how can practice change to make it fit in with life stuff. Because life stuff is just there. You can't like stop that from happening. So practice needs to evolve to meet that need. So are we looking at like busyness or?
I guess, like, some of it is busyness and some is, like, motivation and stuff.
Okay, then. Okay, we might be able to solve both of those in one thing. When you practice, when do you practice?
Usually, like, later in the day, like,
And is that just like,
you know, like, at night.
oh, go on.
Like, at night.
And is that usually like a sort of like you just know you need to practice and do some practice as like a routine, or like what triggers you to know to practice?
Yeah, just, like, around that time.
Okay. I can help with this. So, excuse me. Building new habits is really, really hard, and building new routines. And it sounds like what you've essentially done is you've tried to do exactly that, building a brand new routine from fresh, of like doing it in the evenings. So what might help you is instead of just trying to have this brand new routine, which takes a lot of like, it's a lot to build a new routine. What if we tried to take a routine that you already have and just like slap this onto the end of it? So it could be like whenever you make a hot drink, when the kettle's boiling or whatever. Or it could be like after brushing your teeth each time. Or whenever you drive. Is there anything like that happens a few times a day?
Maybe.
Like just
I have to think about it.
any individual thing that happens like maybe 2 or 3 times a day, every day. I think your sound might be cutting off sometimes, by the way, because I'm missing some of the ends of your
Okay.
sentences.
Let
Could
me
you go into
change
your...
it.
Yeah, if you do all the usual things with the settings, voice and video, and that way it won't be able to cut off anything, because we'll need that in a minute anyway. Yeah. Okay, fab. Yeah, so if you can think of something where it's something that happens, and it can be more than one thing, it doesn't have to be like the one thing. But like, you know, brushing teeth is pretty good because most people do that twice a day. But it can be whatever, just something that you do every single day, that we can just slap this onto the end of it. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Fab. And hopefully that'll help you with just having that as more of a routine. And in terms of like effort levels, try to aim for this being like a really small task. So like, you know, 2 or 3 minutes of practice, not like half an hour of practice, because 2 or 3 minutes is like way more manageable. Yeah.
How would you be able to like practice in 2 or 3 minutes?
Yeah. So essentially, the way I want you to do a practice is, or the mindset I want you to have is little and often. Okay. So the more practices, the better, and keep them as short as you can to make sure that it's as many as you can. So like, I want you to think of frequency, not length of time. And how do you do it in 2 or 3 minutes? Well, let's say we're working on big cheese, little cheese. You just do a few minutes of those. And then that's your practice. Does that make sense? The reason for it being little and often, by the way, is what we're specifically wanting is building that muscle memory. So you're not learning something new. You already know how to do big cheese, little cheese. You're practicing it. Okay? Learning something new is like when you're in a lesson with me. Yeah, practice is just going to be a few minutes of whatever the thing is you're working on at the moment, whether that's big cheese, little cheese, whether that's the pitch hill or whatever. Just whatever it is that you're doing at that time. A few minutes, several times a day. I would say like, if you can aim for 3 times a day, then that's really good. But even 2 times a day is like, I'll take it. But like one sit down of like half hour or whatever, that's going to be a way, way harder thing to do consistently. And your progress is going to be much slower than if you're doing just a few minutes several times a day. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions about that?
No.
No? Okie dokie then. All right, let's go into some warm-ups and we'll get started, shall we? So, if you want to follow my lead. Very good. At that top end there, was the phonation, the sound starting to cut in and out, or was that just your microphone?
Yeah. That was the sound starting to cut in
Yeah.
and out.
Yeah, okay, so when we're pushing for higher pitches, do you feel like you push to get there, or do you feel like you like gently climb up? Like, is there an intuitive sense of like pushing to get higher and higher?
I tried to like, like not push too much, but I guess
Hmm.
it was just kind of high for me, so it cut out.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Hmm.
So part of that can be a pushing thing sometimes. It can also be an issue
Maybe.
of uh, essentially what's happening is we're struggling to get proper vocal fold closure, which is meaning that the like phonation is cutting out. We're just too open. So let's try. When you get to those bits, have we done the glottal strikes with you before?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go for some glottal strikes when you hit that phonation cutting in and out. So I'll do it again just to give you like a guide of where to go. So when we get that, give me some glottal strikes.
Mhm. Okay. Wait, how do you like do them again?
Yeah, yeah. So the analogy I tend to use for people is think of a British way of saying butter. Okay, like how I'll say butter. Okay, or bottle. That thing that's happening instead of me saying a T is a is the glottis, the vocal folds, just going like shut, and by shutting it, they like completely stop the airflow. Okay, so that's why you hear it as like a because it's suddenly like you're making sound and then no. Okay, so what we're doing is just as we're doing this, we're just going to do a big bang. Okay, like shut open, and that's so that we have a closure or like a full closure to stop the airflow, and we'll have a full opening to like release all of that again. We could think of this as like a glottal stop and then a glottal onset. Okay, it's the two of them together, so we call it a glottal strike because that's like the combination of the two. So if you think of that last bit of butter, uh, 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 that's the glottal strike. Okay, but uh, try giving that a go.
Uh, 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 uh.
Yeah, perfect,
Like that
perfect.
kind of sound.
Yeah, that's exactly correct.
Mhm.
Okay, so as we get to those points where the phonation starts to cut out, give me some glottal strikes to try and get that full closure again.
Mhm. Ah, uh, uh.
Okay, a bit
I
better.
wasn't
It's a bit
sure
better.
exactly how to do it, but.
No, I think you're getting the idea of it there. So
Mhm.
just as soon as we get like uh 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 so whenever we have that cutting
Mhm.
out, try to at the same pitch, give some glottal strikes, and try to keep that as we then go into the rest of the lip trill. Does that make sense?
How exactly do they like help? Um,
Mm-hmm.
with continuing it.
Yeah, so essentially what's happening is when we have those like breaks in our phonation, when its sound starts cutting out, what's happening is
Mhm.
normally our vocal folds are doing that, okay, and that's how you produce sound, but now they're kind of doing that, so they're not actually ever meeting that full point of closure, so air's just going through. It's kind of like at that point you're whispering, okay? So if I'm having that, and I never actually have that, where I have that full closure, okay, the air actually just doesn't get vibrated because we're not meeting that full closure. Does that make sense so far?
Kind of.
Okay, we'll keep going.
Mhm.
By doing a glottal strike, we have to get that full closure because that's what the glottal strike is. It's getting a really big closure. Okay, so by doing a
Mhm.
few of those, where we're really getting that full maximum closure, when we then go back into phonation, the hope is for you to take that full closure and bring that into the phonation. Okay, does that make
Mhm.
sense as like a complete description? Or ask any questions if it doesn't.
I think so.
Sure. So again,
Mhm.
to make sound, air comes up from your lungs, moves to your vocal folds, and then they vibrate and chop it up. Okay? Well, if they're vibrating, doesn't actually meet that full closure, then they're not chopping it up because the air can just kind of move through the middle without actually being broken up. Yeah?
Mhm.
Cool. Cool. So yeah, we're just trying to make sure you actually get that full closure so that you can produce sound. Um, Okay, let's keep going with some more lip trills just to complete the warm up.
Ah, ah.
Nice, nice. That was like a perfectly well done one. When we start the chill, by the way, could we start and make sure that we have some like phonation going on right at the start? So I'm noticing you're getting a lot of like. And I think part of it is because we have that start that's a little bit iffy, we're then struggling as we go up. So try to make sure at the start, don't move your pitch until you've got that strong phonation. Yeah? So like ideally we want to just go straight in with a. But even if you need a minute, just like. Just once it's stable, then start moving it. That might help you as well. Okay? Nice. Struggled a little bit as we got higher, but that was probably your best yet. That's really, really good. Let's go again. We're going to go up to a maximum pitch range and down to the maximum down range, if that makes sense.
Uh, uh, uh.
Nice, nice. That down was really, really good, by the way. That was good. In your like try to make sure there's a bit of a tack behind it, like a or like
Okay.
like a big attack behind it, just to make sure we're really getting that closure in. But that was good. That was good. Okay, we're gonna go up to the top and we're gonna do a little siren. Okay. Nice, nice. And then the same thing going down. Nice. That was like perfect. That was brilliant. Well done. Fab. Okie dokie. Let's get into some stuff then. So, last time I was doing some big cheese, little cheese with you. Do you want to give me a little demo? And we'll see how it's sounding.
Alright.
Or I can go first if you need me to.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. So what I'm looking for is a cheese. And then you'll talk for a little bit, keeping that same brightness that the cheese brought. Okay? And then for a topic for you to talk about, I'll go back to normal. For a topic for you to talk about, why don't you tell me about how's the past couple of weeks been? What have you been up to?
So what I've been up to today, I mean this week, instead of today, you know, I've kind of just been like chilling and hanging out with friends and stuff.
Nice, nice. Okay, so what I heard was we did a really nice drill form, and then the phonation test was fine, and then at the end of the phonation test was a little drop. It was only a small drop. Like I don't think you went back to your default, but you went like halfway there, which is good. That's progress. So let's try again, and let's really try to hold that sound through our like from the phonation into the talking. Let's give it another go.
Okay. Cheese. So now I'm gonna try and hold my phonation from the start to the end.
Yeah, that was really good. That was great,
Mm-hmm.
actually. You did a really good job there. Slight thing with a drill form. With a phonation test, make sure we start in a
Yeah.
whisper and end it in a phonation. So like, cheese, 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 cheese. Rather than just going straight into it.
Alright.
Cheese. But, minor thing. Just so that you can have that in future. It'll just help you to maintain that same bright sound as you go through. It helps with the bridging a little bit. But that sounded okay to me. What do you think?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay then. Okay, I would say in terms of practice, just to recap us so far, practice those. I should move my camera a little bit so I can gesticulate. Practice that's too far. Okay, yeah, practice those softies, practice those lip trills. Try to really get that phonation like stable. Those glottal strikes will help you, and also a stable start will help you to continue for a stable trill. Excuse me. So it's the first thing, just keep practicing those and try to really get that stability in. And then also keep practicing these cheeses. But this is sounding pretty decent right now. Just to test us, let's see if you can, just because I want to see how accurate you can get and how precise you can get. What happens if you try to, match where I'm at, okay, with my cheeses? Just best as you can. Cheese, 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 cheese. Cheese. And now I'm talking around here-ish.
Now I'm talking around here now.
Okay, that was good. That was good. Cheese, 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 cheese. Cheese. Now I'm talking around here-ish.
Cheese. Now I'm talking around here now.
A little bit high, but that was pretty okay. Cheese, 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 cheese. Cheese. And now I'm talking around here-ish.
Cheese. Now I'm talking around here now.
Good, good. Cheese, 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 cheese. Cheese. And now I'm talking around here-ish.
Now I'm talking around here now.
Okay. I think you struggle a little bit with the lower ones. Not a big deal. Try practicing different levels. Just not that I necessarily care about you getting those lower ones. More just to make sure we aren't just switching into default. Like we're carrying the drill into the actual voice. That said, I'm not too worried. I think we're doing kind of okay. How are you feeling about it all so far?
It makes sense.
Okay. Any questions?
No.
No? Okie dokie then. All right then. So, and how are we feeling about your like capabilities with moving around resonance? Just how do you feel about it? And like the sounds you're producing and stuff. In terms of like being like, where are we based on where your goals are?
I'm not exactly sure.
Okay. Let me think about that for a second. Remind me what our specific goals are.
You know, basically just like a female passing voice. That's like the main goal.
Do we have anything more specific than that? Like what kind of feminine voice?
I think I put in like the one video.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find it real quick.
Ticket.
There we are. Ah, yes. Okay, let me give a real listen to this just to remind myself where we're aiming for.
Wonder Egg Priority's first episode probably shows the
Wonder
highest
Priority's
potential of any
first
anime
episode.
that began airing this year, and the final episode is one of the most disappointing. It was a very painful experience.
Okay, let's test you out a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to make a recording of this for you to re-listen to make it a bit easier for you to analyze it afterwards. So just give me a minute to load another OBS up. And of course, it always loads with everything minimized, which is really, really annoying. I don't know why it does that. Okie dokie. Okay, sick. Why don't you just go for, if you open up that clip as well, so you can have a little listen for yourself. And let's just hear you going, use the cheeses to help you get to where you're trying to get to in terms of the resonance or brightness or whatever word you want to use. And let's just see your best attempt at your goal. All right, whenever you're ready.
Wait, what would you like me to do?
So I want you to take a listen. First, take a listen to the clip, just so you can like have the sound in your head, and then try to match the resonance that you're hearing, or the larynx height, or the vocal tract size, or whatever word it is that you want to use. Match the cheese that you're hearing.
Should I like try to repeat a phrase, or just try to like talk in the same way?
I'm gonna say, don't repeat a phrase. Just give me some talking, because I don't want to. I don't want it to be your reading voice. I want it to be your voice. Yeah.
So, I guess this is me kind of like trying to talk like in that voice. I'm not really sure like exactly where to
Use the drill to get you to wherever you're going for. So like, okay, listen to her voice for a moment.
Yeah.
Try to imagine what she'll sound like when she's whispering, or even just whispering the word cheese, and then try to get to that same cheese, and then go into phonation and ordinary drill. Yeah.
All right. Jeez. I guess this is me trying to talk around at the same level and everything.
Okay, nice. All right, I'm going to send that through in the public lesson chat. You're able to use that chat, aren't you? I haven't messed up my permissions and stuff. Yeah, so everybody else has been. So it'll be over here. So in the stage, just in the chat for the stage.
Okay. Do you want me to listen to it now?
Yeah, have a listen to it and let me know what you think.
I guess this is me trying to talk around at the same level and...
What are you thinking?
It's not really like that different from how I normally...
How does it compare though to the clip? Like ignore your voice as it is like ever and just think about the clip. How does it compare to the clip?
Sounds like lower, I guess.
Okay. Interesting. All right, let's
Like my voice.
Sorry, go on.
Like my voice sounds like lower and stuff.
And when we say lower, are we talking about a darker resonance, or are we talking pitch?
Maybe both? I don't really know.
Okay, let's find out then. Reminder of pitch. And then resonance. So see if you can listen for the like sort of average pitch range that the clip you sent me has, and then compare that to the recording we just made, and let me know what you think.
not really sure.
Okay.
Maybe it's like weight or resonance or something.
Okay, sure. So you're thinking like
Mhm.
possibly less of a pitch thing. Is that what
Yeah,
you're saying?
perhaps.
Okay,
Mhm.
cool. Okay, I'm going to tell you how I compare the two, and I'm going to play them once more just to be like doubly certain. Okay. Let me
Alright.
grab you.
Watching the series deteriorate over the course of 6 months. The strength of the initial 3 episodes lies in the themes and emotions.
I guess it's me trying to talk around at the same level and everything.
Okay, so she has a slightly different like accent to you. She's also reading,
Yeah.
which obviously changes her voice quite a lot. In my opinion, this is pretty similar. Like, presence pretty much the same as I'm hearing the clip. Pitch, almost like her exact pitch pattern. Like, you've emulated that really well. What do you think of that?
What do you think is like different then?
Not a lot. I think I'm hearing her reading voice, and I think I'm hearing like some just random prosty things that aren't to do with gendering at all. Like the difference between her voice and let me try to match your voice real quick.
I guess it's me trying to talk around at the same level and
Okay, and
everything.
then we have similar pitches. I think you're slightly higher pitch than me. Okay, so me talking right now is about the same difference between you in the clip. Oh, sorry, between you in this little clip and the clip that we're hearing in the video. Let me check hers again.
Conveyed through visuals and character acting. The first episode alone functions.
First episode alone functions. Yeah, okay, so she's sounding a little bit like I'm sounding here in terms of our gendered aspects. Now, obviously, my voice sounds different because I'm a different person with different speech patterns and different, like, other random shit. Like, I have a different accent for a start, and you also have a slightly different accent to her. But in terms of the other elements, the main ones, I have that same stuff going on right now, and I think you do as well in that little clip. What do you think of that?
I just feel like there's like something about like my clip that like, you know, like sounds more male and like the video like more female.
Okay, how do I approach this? Okay, let's break it down. One thing at a time. Let's see if you can give me a very specific, like this thing is off. Do you reckon you can give me one? Or two, or whatever? Like, go as specific as you possibly can. And let me know if you struggle. Because that's also useful information. Any thoughts so far?
It just sounds like lower, but I don't know how.
What do you mean by lower? Or is that what you don't know what you mean by lower?
But I don't know.
Okay. Would it be accurate to say that you don't know what it is, but something seems more masculine in your one? Although
Yeah.
not really sure what it could
Definitely.
possibly be. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
let's go for a little thought experiment. What can we... So, you know about the different elements, and to really like double check that you definitely know the different elements, what am I doing right now? What was I changing there?
Pitch.
Good, well done. What am I changing this one?
Resonance.
Good, good. And what am I changing this one? What's that one?
Wait.
Nice, well done. So there are 3 core things. And it doesn't sound like you're able to tell if it's any of those. Would it be accurate to say that those all sound the same or no? In terms of like your clip to your goal, or like your voice to your goal?
Could you repeat that?
So if you go
Good
through
question.
each of those 3 things and compare them with your clip or your voice now compared to the goal, how do they compare? Like just go through them one at a time. Like pitch. How do you think the pitch is? I am going somewhere with this, by the way, Dory.
Maybe it's a combination of like everything a little bit.
Okay. These are all very interesting things that you're saying. I'm trying to decide how I'm going to take you where I'm trying. I know where I'm going with this. I'm deciding what the best route is for us to go. Okay. Would it be reasonable to say, despite knowing what all these elements are, and being able to say like which direction something is, when you compare your clip to the voice, you're not quite sure, and you can't really find what's different? Is that an accurate assessment or no?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What could that tell us? So you know those different things, and I know you know it because we just did a test and you got flying colours. You did really, really well. I know you can control all of these things because you do it in drills and you do really, really well. So if you can hear the differences in other people's voices and you can control it in your own voice, but when you compare these 2 things, you're not sure, what might that tell us? I might need to give you some clues. We'll see.
Maybe it's like more smaller things. Or I just can't tell.
I don't think it's smaller things. I think there's something else going on entirely.
What do you think?
Okay, maybe I'll just say it. My prediction, and I want to see how you feel about this, or my like intuition right now, is brainworms. Now, if you tell me it's not brainworms, then it's not brainworms. But my suspicion is that when you're hearing your own voice, you recognize it as your voice, and so you're instantly like, it's too masculine. But what I think's actually happening is you're probably reaching your goals, but you're just telling yourself you're not, essentially. Kind of like how you'll see the most like passing women ever, but they think that they look horrendous. I think that's happening with you. What do you think of that? In terms of your voice.
I'm not sure.
So this has been my suspicion from pretty early on. And this is why I've been like talking about goals a lot and specific goals. Because yeah, like the initial thing when you tell me your goal is just passing femme voice, which is like part of the difficulty of that is it's an unattainable goal because like there's no such thing as the passing femme voice. Like it doesn't, there are all sorts of different femme voices. It's not like a thing that exists.
Yeah.
It's not like a monolithic thing. And you can super easily like shift the goal and like move the goalpost continuously, so you're never reaching your goal, and everybody does that. But yeah, so there was that gave me the initial suspicion, and 2, like your voice sounds pretty similar to this clip. It has a different accent to it because like you're a different person, and I imagine probably from a different part of America. But this is, you know, You got a similar resonance. You got a similar pitch. You got a similar. She might be slightly lower pitch than you. Similar resonance, similar weight, almost identical weight, and like pretty much identical resonance. So because of all those things, I'm leaning towards: is this a brainworms problem? What are your thoughts? Because I would guess, have you been in many phone calls using your voice?
Some, I guess.
How do people tend to react?
I don't really know.
I would guess that people are immediately going to go to she/her. Like, in fact, would be an instant thing. They wouldn't even be thinking about it. What do you think of that?
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
I still think there's like, I don't know, maybe a difference in like lightness or something in the clip and then.
Okay. I mean,
and then
I'm happy to work with you on all of these individual things and make sure you have those specific specific skills and like go through my drills with you and stuff. But I want you to consider the possibility that you already have achieved your goal, and brainworms is fucking with you. And part of that might be getting feedback from others and just, especially like strangers, like just seeing how they react to your voice. Phone calls can be useful. Yeah, just getting other people's reactions to your voice. Because I think if you get a little bit of feedback, you might be surprised at what people say.
Alright.
Okay. Alright. In that case, let's have little thinkies about where we take you next. How do you feel your like control of perceptual weight is? Like, do you have a solid drill form? Are you able to control it super easily? Or do you want us to go with that for a bit?
Probably go with that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, okay. So my drill for perceptual weight is we're gonna. Do you know how pitch and weight are a little bit linked? Do you know about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So as we go to a lighter as we go to a higher pitch, it's more intuitive for us to go to a lighter weight as well because of reasons. So we can take advantage of that pitch connection by sliding up in pitch and using that to help us lighten our weight, and then taking that lightness and bringing it back down in pitch, but keeping it light when down to what our normal talking pitch is going to be. So the drill is something like this. We start at a low pitch, nice and heavy, as heavy as we can, drag it up, or like move the pitch up, find that lightness, and drag it back down again. When you're going to that high pitch, if you go into M2, that's totally fine, so long as you go back into M1 by the time you've ended the drill. And reminder, M2 is like that falsetto-y kind of a sound, and M1 is like normal talking. So the full drill sounds like this. I'll stick to a brighter resonance so you can like hear it like this. So now I have that I have that light and gentle voice with none of that buzzing there, but I also have it at like a normal pitch again. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, do you want to give it a go? Try to start as heavy and as buzzy as you can. Nice. Okay, do it again. I want to try to get an even buzzier start. And then why don't you tell me about... Why don't you tell me about... Tell me about... Oh, pardon?
Okay. I
What were you
could
gonna
just say random stuff. Like
You can just say random stuff, that's fine. I was going to say, why don't you tell me about how much, like, just because this will also be useful information, why don't we take the opportunity for you to tell me about, like, how much do you actually use your voice day to day? Like, yeah, where does your voice exist in your life right now?
Okay. Uh,
Really buzzy, like nice.
I guess like when I'm like, like using my voice is when I'm like, going out or talking with friends,
Mm-hmm.
or like on a call with them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when you're spending time with friends is what I'm mostly hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
Mhm.
first of all, the drill was great. You did that perfectly. Like you had flawless control there. How did it sound to you though?
The drill, I think yeah,
Yeah.
like what is, yeah, I don't think it was bad.
Mm-hmm. Did it feel like easy to do?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I think your weight control is like solid. I don't hear any issues there at all. You did it like almost exactly like I did it. If anything, you struggled to get heavier, which is like a pretty good sign.
I mean, yeah, so I just don't want to be too loud.
Oh yeah, sure. Ooh, that's something I should check in on. I don't hear you getting quieter as you go to your lighter perceptual weight, but that could be your microphone like equalizing stuff. Are we getting very quiet when we go to a lighter weight, or are we saying a conversational volume?
I don't think I'm going lighter. I mean, like too quiet.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's fine.
I mean,
That's totally fine. I just had to check in on that just in case, because sometimes I won't actually hear it because microphones can adjust for it in the software, and so sometimes, yeah, it gets corrected for before I get to hear it. But as long as we are maintaining a conversational volume, that's completely fine. Yeah. Okay. So solid perceptual weight, solid resonance control. Can you go up and down in pitch? Just give me like an ah. I mean, you basically just did that drill, but solid pitch control. Can you give me the Mario theme? Ba da ba ba da ba ba.
Okay. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-bum.
Good, good. Okay, so we have all of those core things with good control. I'm leaning towards the brainworms one, and I know that that's not like the fun answer, because like it's not very actionable, and it basically just tells you you're wrong, which I know sucks. Have a think about it is what I'm gonna say, because like part of where I'm at now is I'm not sure where to take you in these lessons, because to me it sounds like you're kind of achieving your goals. What do you think about all that?
I think there's like still things I could work on, like probably like especially like confidence and that kind of stuff, because I still haven't really like like found a default or anything, I guess, if that makes sense.
Okay. We're coming towards the end of our time. Do you mind if we go a little bit over time? Because I want to ask you about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah? Can you tell me more about this confidence thing?
I guess we also like, like consistency, like, I'm not sure if I like stay at the same thing all the time and stuff.
Okay. So is the issue one of feeling like things are a bit inconsistent? Or is the issue of like, is anxiety coming to play? Is basically where I'm going with this.
Well, probably like both of those things, actually.
Okay, sure. You said that you use your modified voice in front of your friends. Is that like a full-time thing?
Yeah.
And how do you feel? How do you feel when you're doing that?
How do I feel?
Like, this is like an emotions question. Like, literally just like, what are you feeling in those moments?
About my voice?
About your voice? Do you feel like... Just about your voice, but also like nerves, anxiety, like emotion things. Or like things as a result of using your voice.
I'm not sure how to answer that.
Mm-hmm. It's a complicated question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm mainly looking to see, do we have an issue cropping up where we feel uncomfortable using our femme voice? And do we have an issue coming up where there's just a lot of anxiety that comes up with actually using it in the real world? And you can tell me that no, those things aren't coming up, and that's totally fine. I'm just checking in with them.
I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. That might be another thing to think about then. Like, next time you're with your friends and you're using a voice, like, just check in with yourself. Like, do you feel okay? Is everything, like, okay in that moment? You know, if you're getting, like, a lot of anxiety, then maybe that's something to look at internally with yourself. Obviously, I can't help you too much with that extent of things. That's, like, beyond just voice work. But, yeah, there could be some degree of, like, is it, like, you know, just because you mentioned confidence specifically, and when I'm thinking confidence issues, I'm thinking like our emotions being a part of things. You know, getting some anxiety, getting some nerves, feeling anxious about our voice, things like that. Hence asking you those sorts of questions. How would you feel if I suggested that you start using your voice full time? Yay or nay? First of all, are you out?
Yeah.
I should ask that first. Like,
I mean,
fully.
like, I guess I could, but like, you know, like, yeah, I guess I like mainly could, like,
Like, actually could? Like, because if there's a logistical issue here, do tell me.
I don't know if I really do like at my job, but like I don't really talk much at my job anyways.
Oh, sure. Okay, let's wrap up, and I'm going to just tell you my thoughts. So, what I'm currently thinking is, one, I do suspect some brainworms here. And so I want you to have a think about, very specifically, like, can you find a specific issue? Because if you can't find a specific issue, that's a really strong sign that there isn't a specific issue.
Like, even with just like my like talking, like here.
Yeah, just your voice. Just specific issues about your voice. And I don't want to, like,
I mean, like,
mask or femme, because that's not specific. Yeah?
Like, you can't even like find issues when I'm like normally like talking.
Sorry, what was the question there?
So like, you even like not in just like the clip, like just like normally when, like,
just in your
talking.
voice. See if you can find very specifically what are the issues. And so, to be clear, if the clip is more in line with your goal, as like if you hear that clip in that sidebar there in the chat, and you're like, I prefer that voice, like, by all means just switch to it, because you produce that with very little instruction. So I think you can just do that if you want to. Again, that's entirely optional. That's just like, if you'd like to do that, then do that. And that will just be a matter of practicing, just as you have done in the past. But yeah, try to get like as specific as you possibly can. If you can't find anything specific, that tells us something. Because if you can't find a specific thing wrong, then like, is there a specific thing wrong? And there might be, and that's completely fine. Like, if you find that, like, oh shit, it's this thing, like, that's fine, we'll work on that thing. Yeah, I just don't want you feeling like your voice is I don't want you feeling like there's an issue if there's not, because that's like stressful for you. So have a really strong think about that. What else was I going to go with? You could also try like take your voice and modify one thing at a time to see if this moves you further away or closer to your goal. So like use a drill and be like, okay, this is where I'm at right now. Yeah, this is where I'm at right now. Can I go a bit brighter? Oh, sorry, I'm not using the cheeses. I've defaulted to big dog, small dog. So like, cheese. We're sort of doing the drill in reverse to find that spot. Cheese, cheese, cheese. Okay, I'm here. Cheese, 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 cheese. Okay, and now over here. Like play around with where your voice is at and just move it around different configurations and go for both up and down, because you might find that like there's something a little lower that's actually close to that sweet spot for you. Like if you hear my voice right now, I've several times gone to brighter than I normally go to, and then for my normal talking I've gone back to here because I actually prefer it here. So play with each of the different, like think of it as like a mixing board where we can like dial each individual thing. Play with your different dials, see how you feel about different stuff. Have a little experiment.
I've been meaning to like do like more like mimicry with different voices because I feel like that really helps with me.
I think for you specifically, I might say avoid mimicry, because the issue with mimicry is it's very non-specific. So if you mimic a voice and then find that you're not happy with it, it's going to be hard to know what you're not happy with, which is why I'd say use the drills to help you. Or like, by all means, like aim for a particular voice in like a mimicry style fashion, but use the drills to get there so that you can break down the individual elements. Does that make sense?
All right.
So like aim for their presence and then aim for their weight and then aim for their pitch and do those as individual things to help us get this specificity. That'll probably help quite a lot. Okay. Any questions so far?
No.
No? Okie dokie. All right then, let's throw you in for a couple of weeks' time because I want to see how you're feeling about things and thinking about things in a couple of weeks. Homework is to basically kind of think about the things I was talking to you about. Practice your individual elements to make sure you have those like as solid things. And that's just practice pitch movements, practice weight movements, practice presence movements, and also try and practice those softies a little bit. I did notice when you're doing the weight drill, you had no cutting out, which was really good. So maybe even try like that might help you too. So practice that, try and smooth it out a whole bunch, and yeah, try to play with your voice and like experiment. So move one thing at a time and see how you feel about those movements. Okay. All right, sick. If we go for a 2-week gap, I can just throw you in for 2 weeks on the dot if you like. So that'll be the 27th.
All right.
Yeah, sick. Okie dokie. If you get any questions between now and the next lesson, do let me know in the chat, in the ticket. Yeah.
All right.
All right, sick. All right, well, thank you so much for coming, Jaiden, and we'll see you next time. For everybody that is currently... Oh, sorry, go on.
Thanks for the lesson and everything.
Yeah, you're super welcome. Fab. All right, for everybody who is in the YouTube chat, we'll be switching over to some streamy streams very soon. For everybody that is in the Discord, we'll be finishing Discord in a moment. So if you want to head over to Twitch, youtube.com/@trans_network, and that's where we're going to be. Okay, I'm going to go to the starting soon because I need to go to the toilet. I'll be right back, everybody. Okay, bye. Okay, bye Discord. I just did like a whole bunch of talking and you just didn't hear any of it, for fuck's sake. Do you hear me now? Hopefully you can hear me now. OBS hears me, so. Yeah, you can hear? Okay, perfect. Sorry about that. And sorry for the delay. I went to get some food and finished some of my makeup, and I can do some lipstick after finishing food. And yes, fully acknowledged with the pings. I need to like redo a lot of the ping roles in the Discord because they don't all make sense. Like, you still get asked about Twitch. We don't even use Twitch. And it's not like there's not a differentiation between like YouTube live streams and YouTube videos or anything. So I need to just like totally redo it. And then I guess I'll just ping everybody to fix their roles. Yeah. How is everybody today? And no, I'm totally not procrastinating about talking about feelings. I can have a little food first. Let's do a little raffle for all of you. There you go, exclamation mark join to join the raffle. Get yourself some more points. Hells yeah, get those fucking points going. Join. You gotta be quick, other people. It only has a minute. Why is it not joined Codsworthy? Oh wait, no, Codsworthy, you were just late. I just realised. Lamel. Okay, maybe I need to make that clearer. Yeah, so it is always join to join. Well, there you go, Scarlett. You have just won 150 points. Congratulations. What did we all think about lesson just now? Do you guys lean towards the same direction I'm leaning to? Doing all right? Still not fully better, so you've cut back on voice training, even though you had so much free time this weekend. Yeah, do be like that. We did figure out lip trills. Okay, you can keep doing your lip trills while you're ill. In fact, if you have like issues of mucus and like having to clear your throat all the time, then the softies will help that because you won't have to clear your throat as much. You can just do the softies to help get rid of all that mucus. And so by not clearing your throat as much, you keep everything a little just comfier and you reduce irritation. There is a lunar hair in my leftover mac and cheese. What the hell? This is my boyfriend's fault. He made mac and cheese and there's a lunar hair in it. Okay. Gross. Almost ingest so many of my dog's hairs. Like, there's no way it's avoidable. Can you see a Luna? She's sleeping downstairs right now, but I can bring her up. One sec. Give me just a second and we'll grab you a Luna picture. Oh, that's a fucking good picture. We'll grab you. And we'll grab... That is also a good picture. We're grabbing you. Oh, that's such a fucking good picture. Okay, and we'll open you. Okay. You want to see some fucking Luna? Let's see some fucking Luna. Hells yeah, motherfucker. This is how she sleeps, by the way. So her head is over there. You can just see her snoot. Like, how far in can I zoom? Like, there's her snoot. And yeah, that's how she likes to sleep. And then this one where she has given me a little cuddle. And it was fucking awesome. Hells yeah, motherfucker. That's my goddamn Luna. Fuck yeah. It's a smoyed thing. They smile. Yeah, smoyed smile to help them to not drool. Because they come from Siberia. It's obviously very cold. So if you're drooling a lot, that's going to reduce your temperature quite a lot. That said, it totally doesn't work with her. She drools all the time. But in theory, the smiling is supposed to reduce drooling. And it very clearly, for her, indicates happiness as well, to some extent. Because, like, she smiles more when she's happy. She's cute as fuck. And yeah, Lismara, I totally agree. It is just personality stuff that I'm hearing in the difference between the clip. Which kind of leads me to where I was going with it. Like, I'm very strongly suspecting brainworms there. Because, like, to me, it's a pretty fucking feminine voice. I'm guessing you guys probably feel the same. Like, you know. Okay, bear with me as I'm eating my lunch. All right. Okay. Why don't we talk about the plan for what we're talking about today? I guess from here she'd have to guide what she still wants to work on. Yeah, exactly. Like, if it's not brainworms, super valid, and like we can work on whatever she wants to work on. I just worry if it's like, is there actually something there, or just is dysphoria taking over a little bit and like fucking with perception? Because I have that. Like, I just hear a dude's voice in my voice, but I've had enough from other people to tell me that like that ain't what's up. And like on the phone, I get she heard. So, or like people that don't know yet, but I haven't gotten around to telling. When I answer the phone, and they're like, "Oh hey, is Zach there?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, hey, this is Zach." There's like a pause of like, "Okay," because they're like hearing a voice that doesn't line up with a dude they're expecting. But I have to explain like, "Oh yeah, so big news. I kind of transitioned. It's Zara now." But yeah. So to some extent you have to like just take in feedback from the outside world sometimes. I do try to move people, like, in all other aspects, I will try to move people to, like, their own goals and not really caring what other people say, because it's not their voice, it's your voice. However, when brainworms are a thing, brainworms are a thing. And sometimes you need to outsource that opinion a little bit. Probably having leftovers and just keep quickly grabbing them and not reheating them or anything, or even adding any sauce or anything. Because everything's just so fucking dry, but like it's sticking to my teeth because it's just like solid. It's like leftover rice and pasta. Like the pasta's tough. It's also a very weird combination of food. A tiny bit of leftover mac and cheese mixed with a little bit of leftover fried rice. It's a weird combo. Okay, I'll have a bit more of that later. Okay, fuck it. Let's tell you guys what's been up. Why the workshop had to be cancelled, and why I didn't stream Monday, and just what's going on. Those don't sound like they go well together. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's just a bit weird. It's mainly that everything's so dry. I need like a sauce in it or something. So I'm just getting like grains of rice stuck in my teeth. Okay. Blah. Emotions. Okay. Fuck. So I am currently dealing with some kind of body things. No, let's give you some more backstory. I think that's going to be most useful for you to understand. Because this isn't quite the same as most trans people when they tell you that. Like, this isn't as simple, just like, yeah, she has dysphoria. Okay. Zara Law, backstory. So, back in, I think 2022, I was kind of thinking about gender things. And I was like, you know what? If I'd been given a choice, I was 25 at this time. If I'd been given a choice, I probably would have chose chick, you know? Like if people were born in like a character creation, I'd have clicked female. Or like retrospectively now, I suppose, I would pick female. And my brain at the time was like, I don't feel dysphoric. I enjoy being a dude. I just intuitively feel like I'd enjoy being a chick more. But life isn't a video game. That's not how it works. So, oh well, it'd be what it be. I did at the time consider like, oh well, wait, but transition exists. You can do that. But in my brain, I did the stupid thing, like all trans people in their 20s. I was like, yeah, but you're too old to transition. It would never work. And so abandoned the idea entirely. Then a year later, the thought cropped up again, just totally randomly. But this time, another random thought cropped up. Hadn't been like, nothing had triggered the two. Just how randomly Finster popped into my mind. I was like, hey, hang on. Isn't there like that dude online that hasn't transitioned, but just looks like a chick through like makeup and shit? At the time, I barely knew anything about Finster, just that he was a dude that did that. So I was like, huh. Well, maybe I should just try that. And then if I don't like it, I can just not do it again. So I was like, okay. DM'd my two best friends, did makeovers with each, and it was like, huh, this is fucking awesome. Did not get to a passing state at all. Looked horrendous. Yeah. I got a bit of rice stuck in my teeth, and it's really annoying me. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Spoke to them, did a little makeover, and yeah, I like in women's clothes, in makeup, I felt good. I was like, they did the best they could, but they are not people that necessarily know what they're doing with this. So I didn't look incredible. I'm just going back through the photos now to see if is there anything that I would be willing to show you guys. Probably not, but oh my god, these are bad photos. Part of the problem is we didn't know how to hide facial hair. So like she did my makeup, but my facial hair fully showed through because she didn't know about color correcting. Yeah, no, you're not seeing any of these photos. Never mind. Okay, so that was where I was at. So did some makeover and I was like, oh, this is fucking awesome. I want to do more of this. And I bought some makeup and had to go with myself. Was pretty shit at makeup at first, but I got better. Something I was thinking about at the time, though, is, again, I fully enjoyed being a dude. Like, I enjoyed being a dude, actively. It was a fun thing. I enjoyed, like, oh, the people around me can't... Hang on, I need to turn Discord into... onto streamer mode, because I am getting so many pings right now, and it is crazy. It's probably driving you guys insane. Okay, stream mode is on. Yeah, so fully enjoyed being a dude and fully enjoyed presenting as a dude, and even like things that made me feel manly were fun and I enjoyed them. Like the people around me can't lift a heavy object, and then I fucking big lad comes over and lifts the heavy object. That felt awesome every single time. And like looking at my muscles and looking at my cool ass beard and shit like that all felt really cool. I enjoyed presenting as a dude. I guess to show you what I looked like before, because I can do that if it's just me looking like a dude. Selfie timelines. Yeah, no, it's my Discord, sorry. So if you're in my Discord, you can check my selfie timeline, and I have a couple of pictures of me looking like a dude. Here's an example of one of them. Hey, Soul Strings, we are... Oh, you won't know what's been happening. Quick recap for Soul Strings. So, if you're in my server, or if you're in any of the servers where I do the workshops, you may have noticed that there was no workshop this Saturday. Remind you to set your Discord to... Yeah, I've done it. Yeah, so what I don't like talking about this, but I should talk about this. Workshop was cancelled and I disappeared from the internet for a few days. Yeah, you noticed. Yeah, so basically, I'm giving some backstory on it right now. But I have found that body issues have become a thing. Yeah, so to continue giving that to context, this is what I looked like pre-everything. Like pre even knowing that I wanted to transition. At this time, I thought I was just a cis dude. And at that time, I remember that day. It was a fun day out. And I felt like, because I was obviously helping for rowing of a boat, and I felt like the fucking big man. Like, I felt great. My t-shirt flexed my muscles a little bit. You don't actually see much of my muscle in this particular photo because of the angle. But I felt pretty good. I felt masculine. I felt cool. I felt awesome. I was the big fucking man. Okay? To give you another photo of like a similar kind of a thing. I need to move some stuff around so that you don't see what I'm not trying to show you. If I just move Discord over to this window. Over to this monitor. I need more monitors. 2 is not enough. I need like 4. If I also show you this particular picture. So this picture, when it was taken, why is it so zoomed in? There you go. This picture when it was taken, and when I like first saw it and stuff, this was like a euphoric picture. Again, this is pre-everything, pre-me even knowing that I wanted to transition. Specifically, you notice that huge fucking bicep there. I felt pretty fucking good about that. This is probably the most muscular I've ever been, and I fucking loved it. I was very euphoric about my masculinity. So just to give you some context on where I exist with gender, and where my headspace was at when I first went into transition. I was like, okay, I enjoy Wolverine vibes. Hells yeah. I enjoyed presenting as a dude, and then just I had an intuitive feeling that I would enjoy presenting as a femme better. I would enjoy it even more. Yeah, I felt like I would enjoy it even more. As just like an intuitive, I just kind of know this to be true. I knew that I wanted some boobies. I knew that I wanted a feminine face. I wanted to present femme. I wanted to dress femininely. I wanted to wear makeup, all of those things. And I just had that as an intuitive thing. And then when I went to get a makeover, that kind of affirmed that, like, yeah, you do like this. And then going through transition, it's been like, yes, this is definitely a thing. But to stress, I never had dysphoria. I actively enjoyed being a dude. I just enjoyed being a chick even more than that. It was like the analogy I give people. Victoria sponge is tasty. If you offer me a slice of Victoria sponge, I'm going to be like, fuck yeah, I love cake. Give me some cake. Hells yeah. But if you offer me a choice between a slice of Victoria sponge and a slice of red velvet cake, I'm going to be like, fucking give me the red velvet. I like Victoria sponge, but red velvet's like my favourite cake. Come on. Give me some of that fucking cake. So that's sort of where I was at with everything. Have I not turned that off? Stream minutes, I keep turning you off. What the hell? Ignore that, please. I mean, we do have a giveaway, but you can't redeem stuff yet. Opera cake? I have no idea. I'm Googling opera cake right the fuck now. What the hell is that? I've never heard of that. A cake I don't know about? What, opera cake? Oh my god, that looks so good. What the fuck? I will absolutely take this break from talking about my emotions. I feel like I've had cakes like this before, and they are fucking delicious. It's giving me tiramisu vibes. Is that correct? Like a tiramisu type of a thing? It looks fucking lush. I am all about this. Anyway, back to the uncomfortable conversation. I've never had opera cake, no. It's a cake versus pie thing. In terms of like opera cake versus tiramisu. I can't really tell the difference between this and tiramisu, looking at it, other than it being less moist and coffee soaked. Gâteau opera is what diabetes in regular humans. It is what causes diabetes in regular humans. That's valid. That's valid. There's a wiki page about it. Oh, check it out. Opera cake looks lush. Still though, red velvet. Red velvet is a fucking bomb. 90% buttercream. I do like that. Buttercream's fucking lush. Did you see king cake? What is king cake? That is a completely different cake. It's like a donut-y thing. That also looks delicious. Well, this adds to my point. I just enjoy cake. Let's put some dipstick on. This is really hard just doing it on the OBS window. I'm doing it flipped. Tell me that's not fucking skills to do your lipstick in a flipped mirror with just your fucking webcam. Fuck yeah. And that's perfect, actually. That's perfect lipstick. I'm the fucking best. Okay. Back to the conversation at hand. So yeah, the point is, I very much enjoyed presenting as a dude. Okay? So when I went into things, I was like, something like gender fluid, maybe. Or like agender. Because, like, I enjoyed the mask. I just enjoyed femme more. And so it would be like gender fluid, but would always pick femme. But like, could enjoy mask, just prefers femme. If that makes sense. Obviously, that's not really what gender fluid is. I just don't have a word that describes what I am. I've never seen someone else that has my gender experience. Never come across them even on the internet, just anywhere. The closest I can find is like, it's somewhere close to Finster. as a very strange coincidence. Yeah, you first came out as MB? Yeah, that's quite common. Bigender, maybe. But like with a weighting. So like very strongly, like very much enjoying Mask, but Fem's better, so I would always pick Fem. Like Mask would be like a solid like 7 out of 10 experience. Like that's a good experience. But Fem would be like a 9 out of 10 experience. That's a fucking sick experience. So like I'm always gonna pick the 9 over the 7. Even though the 7's a good number, I would still end up picking the 9. If that makes sense. Completely different vibes to Finster, really? That's surprising to hear. I'd probably give a different like streaming vibe, but in terms of gendery things, I think there's at least Finn is the closest person I've found with gendery things. Yeah, Codsworthy, that's entirely yes. That's like a very good summary. The accent, well, we're both British, yeah. Like the way you hold a convo, structure your speech. So, okay. I might not present it all as stream as much, but like I have a lot of similarities with Finster in terms of like personality things, which is probably why I enjoy his content or their content, or I don't know what they're going by now. There's some definite differences. I definitely still have a lot of the dude bro shit. Because again, I was never dysphoric. So I've never like felt like I need to become more feminine other than in the ways that I wanted to. Like my appearance being a big one or my voice being a big one. But my personality, I mean, some things have changed a little bit, but there's not really a huge shift there. You know, I enjoy Finn, but better. Fuck yeah. Yeah, Finn is any pronouns, and usually uses he, him to describe himself, which is why I use he, him to describe him. Your Wi-Fi cut out. Gender fluid. People can 1000 just use one pronoun. Yeah, I don't know. Her pronouns are he, him. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so like, I don't know what gender you would call that, but like, whatever that is, there's a description, and whatever word that is, then can be whatever word that is. That bit's less important. The point I'm just trying to stress is I did fully enjoy being a dude, and I wasn't dysphoric at all. Like, dysphoria basically didn't exist for me at all. I had no concept of dysphoria. I had no experience of dysphoria. I could only know about dysphoria based on what other people tell me, because it wasn't something that I personally had any experience with. Which leads us to now. What's going on now? So, I was at my friend's house for a sleepover. It was me, one of my other trans friends, and one of my cis friends. All a bunch of chicks. And I don't remember how we got onto the topic. But, yeah, I'm not sure how we got into the topic, but we got into the topic of me and my appearance, and like passingness, I guess. And yeah, I was like, yeah, I know I don't pass, and it's just something that will come with time, and I can list this that I don't like, and 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 have like an endless list. And I can tell you all the different reasons why I don't pass. So I guess I can just say these things to you. Like, my forehead lines, like those lines there, I fucking hate. They look horrendous, and they, to me, feel very, very masculine. My brow bone is fucking huge. It's very masculine. My fucking jawline, like, look at that fucking angle there. Fuck, this is really hard to do on a mirrored screen. Oh, there you go. That, like, perfect angle there. That is almost like a right angle. Killer fucking jawline. Very, very masculine jaw structure. Like, look at that fucking angle. That is, like, masculine as fuck. There's just the face. Huge cheekbones. Huge laugh lines. Lots of, like, wrinkles around my eyes. That's just the face. So you can imagine if we continue this for the rest of my body, there's a lot going on. So, boop, 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 boop. So yeah, we're having this discussion. If they're like, Zara, I think you're like going a little bit crazy here. Like, I'm quoting them. I'm not going. This isn't my opinion. This is what their opinion was. They're saying like, yes, you have a more masculine jawline, but it is fully within line with what some cis women have. Your fucking brow lines are nothing to do with gendering. You don't have wrinkles. What are you fucking talking about? Your fucking cheekbones are what a lot of women are after. And like your brow bone is like barely even noticeable, and then other things on my body as well. And I'm like, ugh. And I suddenly am like really uncomfortable, and I'm like, I don't know what this uncomfortable feeling is. Why am I uncomfortable here? They're just complimenting me. Like, what the hell? But at the end, I'm like just dismissing it to they're just being nice, and they just can't not just be nice, and so. That's fine. I can make their opinion not matter and be completely useless because they're lying to me. Easy. So that's that. But it kind of, throws me off a little bit. Throws me off my kilter a little bit. So, continuing onwards. On my way home, I stop off at a petrol station. And need to just refuel and get some more fuel. When I'm paying for my fuel, I get SIR'd. Oof. And that messed with me. Again, this is someone who her own narrative is not dysphoric. Actually quite enjoy being a dude. I just like this even more. Getting SIR'd fucked with me. Like I had to like pull over because like I went to just leave because obviously I'm in a petrol station. I can't just stop, and I just almost I didn't even like leave a full petrol station. I just moved into an area where you can pull over and just like be there for a sec before joining the main road because they have like a really wide exit. You could have like 3 cars long. I don't know why it's so wide, but it is. But yeah, so I just pull over for a bit, message my boyfriend, be like, "Yo, this just happened." And I'm like, I need a minute before cracking on. And even after I crack on, like, my day is a little bit fucked up because of that. For someone who doesn't experience dysphoria and really enjoy being a dude, that's weird. Why am I so bothered by being sad if I enjoy presenting as a dude? Best I can think of is, well, that's not what I was trying to do in that moment, and therefore it's not lining up with how I'm trying to present in that moment. That's the best I got for it in that moment. Anyway, continuing about my day, and my new dress has arrived because I was also at a wedding this weekend. So I tried on my new dress to like check out for size, see if I like it, because we ordered it online. We ordered like a few. Excuse me. We ordered a few online so that I could like find one that I would like, and then we can return the rest. So got dress, put dress on, took a photo, or took a few photos, and I was like, oh, I look fucking horrendous, and I fucking look masculine as shit. But the dress itself is okay. Was my final conclusion. Like, the dress is a good dress. I like the dress. It suits me. However, just a general, I look masculine as fuck. Also, when we were dress shopping, that was also like, that fucking sucked, dress shopping. Because dress shopping, it's like, I'm going through all these different dresses, and like, there's this dress I like, and there's this dress I like, and there's this dress I like, and all of them will look horrendous on me because I will just look like a fucking dude in a dress. There's like this huge thing for me where like, there's a line of like, if it looks too feminine, I just look like a dude in women's, like the increased femininity for me, because of like a contrast thing, makes my masculinity show more. Which like, yeah. So it kind of sucks for me. I can't wear certain things because I feel like they won't look good on me because I don't have enough of a feminine appearance to make it work, essentially, and I will just look weird in it because I look like a fucking dude. And so like there has to be like, don't go past that line where like it can be feminine enough to communicate that I'm trying to present femininely, but not so much that it highlights how much I don't work in that clothing, and how masculine I am. So yeah, fun. Soul strings. I will go for people's chats in a minute. I take estrogen patches, so I don't have anything like akin to PMS for stuff. My hormones are totally stable. Like patches keep you just totally stable. That's more of like an injections thing to get something like that. Yeah, so yeah, that's dress shopping and stuff. So yeah, I take a photo of me in that dress, and I send it to my group chat with my best friends in it. Because I'm like, hey, what do you like think of this dress? And like, does it suit me? Like, does it work? And then let me pull up the exact quote. I'm not sharing screen right now, am I? No. So keep in mind the experiences that have led up to this point. I send the picture into the group chat, and my best friend, my like bestest best friend, responds with, hang on, I just need to find it. Responds with, that's a gorgeous colour, you look hot. And then I'm like, ugh. Like I literally just type out like I just do that in chat. And then she then follows up with, your skin is flawless, question mark, question mark. And that fucking throws me for a loop. Because hot is not, like normally if it's like, if people, there's two different ways that I find people will talk to you. Yeah, whatever, soul strings. I have been accused of that many times. If people are trying to say you look nice, but aren't necessarily saying you look attractive, they'll usually say you look pretty or you look cute or something like that. At least that's the case in my friendship group. Like I know for this individual, that would be this type of language which she would use. Because like we've been friends for a long time, I know what kind of language she uses. If she says you look hot, that's a little different. Because that's like, no, you actually look quite attractive here. Ugh. So then I'm like, okay, that's kind of affirming what the people before were saying of like, yo, your standards for yourself are like through the roof and they're insane. And you're not seeing yourself accurately. And so that kind of throws me off, and I'm now like, okay, I see myself as this fucking, like, if we're being real about it, like this gross, huge man in a dress. Not an euphoria moment, no. I'm seeing myself in this way, and then everyone else seems to be seeing me in this other way. And that, I guess that contrast kind of made me suddenly realize, one, just how negatively I actually feel about myself, and two, like, presented me the idea that maybe I'm not actually, like, in touch with reality, which is its whole other thing. And this, obviously, again, I've reiterated this a few times, when all this started, I enjoyed presenting as a dude. So given that self-narrative, this is a huge, huge contradiction. So now I'm like, just totally thrown off and don't really know how I feel or what's going on. I'm like completely thrown off kilter. And all of that in me amasses to a negative emotion. So that night, I cried a lot, like a lot. And then the next day, I still cried a lot. And like it took me like 4 days to stop crying. Like it was a lot. Hence no workshop. So yeah, You can imagine being all dressed up for a wedding was a lot. And I ended up asking if we could leave early because I just, like, I did pretty well. We only left like an hour early. It was like a full day of a wedding. But like, yeah, I was like, it was too much. Yeah, my boyfriend's really good with it. And when I say crying, like, I'm crying as he's cuddling me. But yeah, so this is like, yeah, that's sort of what's been going on. It's very difficult to communicate this with people, and so far I haven't really managed to convey my emotions properly, because essentially what I'm saying is I got compliments and it made me feel sad. And it's very difficult to make someone understand what I'm feeling there, partly because I don't even know myself what I'm feeling. I don't really know why I'm upset. But what I do know is either I am experiencing some dysphoria, or I'm experiencing some dysmorphia. The difference being dysphoria is like, I know what's up, I'm in touch with reality, and I don't like what reality is. As in, like, I look too masculine. And I'm correct in that assessment. Dysmorphia is where you do not like how you look, but you are not actually in touch with how you look. You are seeing yourself in a different way to what the mirror is showing. You're out of touch with reality. That's the difference between dysmorphia and dysphoria. I don't know which it is. It's probably a mix of the two. So, yeah, I guess that's the new thing for me. And I'm also someone who I really, really, I'm very, very disconnected from my emotions. I did do therapy a few years ago, which like unlocked emotions existing for me, but weren't like the absolute strongest when it like overflowed. Like I could feel emotions at a normal level. But it was still like very heavily muted and very like dissociated. Not dissociated, that's not the right word, but like me not being very like even knowing they're there. Like I could be feeling an emotion and literally not knowing that I'm feeling that emotion. I think the word is there is a word and it's not coming to me. It's not going to come to me. But it's a word that basically means that like you literally don't know that the emotions are happening. Let's see if I can just Google it and maybe it'll come up. Word for not. Alexithymia. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. Yeah, so it might be some kind of alexithymia thing. I don't know. But essentially, like, I almost have zero connection with my emotions. And, like, I could be feeling sad and literally not know that I'm feeling sad. So it can be very difficult. So what I think has been going on, if I look back, I have had these thoughts about myself for a really long time. At least the past 6 months or so. But because of that not being in touch with my emotions, I haven't really known that that's going on. And so it's built and built and built and built. And then this just comes as like a sledgehammer and the flood walls just opened. And suddenly I'm feeling all of this in like a super strong way because I'm suddenly aware of it. So, yeah. I guess ask me questions. Okay, I'm going to read through the chat. I think that's... Yeah. Okay. You're pretty similar. You could be a dude forever and it'd be fine, but guys want to spend better and happy. Yeah. That's what's up. Codsworthy, the thing you've experienced, you've realised it is your experience of dysphoria has sublimated into other things. The more you explore the original source. Yeah, I never had an original dysphoria, which is why this is throwing me off a lot. I don't know where this has come from. Yeah, the forehead lines fucking suck. They really bother me a lot. It's almost like cis folks also have dysphoria. Yeah, I don't know. That would probably be more dysmorphia, usually. Probably dysphoria. Yeah. Hit you like a brick when you weren't expecting. Yes, exactly. That's exactly it, my huggy. Because I wasn't ready for it or expecting it. It's just completely thrown me off. Have I checked my calendar? Dysphoria spikes tend to happen during PMS season. Yeah. My hormones are like completely stable. So that wouldn't be a thing that could make sense. PMS are, for you are independent of injections. Okay. If we're going to say PMS, we have to think about what we're saying exactly. Because like post-menstrual cycle, like, or post-menstruation syndrome. Syndrome. Is it syndrome or syndrome? Syndrome. Which one's the Invincible's character? Which one's the actual thing? Syndrome with an M. Post-menstrual syndrome. Post-menstruation syndrome. I don't menstruate, obviously. So what else happens? Well, when cis women menstruate, there are the muscles associated with that menstruation, which can be feeling lots of pain and discomfort, because it's a pretty taxing thing on the body. And there is a huge rush of hormones, which can throw your hormone levels off, which comes with all the mental things that come with that. So we're thinking cramps and stuff, which are going to come with the muscles involved with literally menstruation. And we're thinking the hormone fluctuations and the associated things that happen with hormone movements. And that could be a whole bunch of things like some weight issues or like just weight instability, mood instability. Hormones do a lot of things, as you know. I don't have hormone fluctuations. I obviously don't have the actual menstruation itself. So there's nothing left there that can be PMS. But a password meditate. Yep, that is me entirely. I will get through chat, by the way. You tried on a dress earlier and had huge euphoria. That's awesome. Then looked at my head and went dysphoric. Yep, that's nowhere near femme yet. And you hate your hair. Mihugi, I really relate to that with your dress thing. Contrast between internal state and external reality can really create a lot of cognitive dissonance. Yeah, and I think that might be part of it. I don't think of cognitive dissonance as a like emotional thing of like feeling like sucky. It's more of like a stubbornness usually. But here I'm feeling like I feel depressed, and like I'm crying and shit. Who you are today is not who you were then. True. And you could be feeling differently now versus then. Not only normal, but something that could have expected. Yeah, to some extent, yes, Codsworthy, but like people don't become trans, or people don't just become dysphoric, to the best of our knowledge, at least. Like, you don't go from being cis to being trans. You just are you. There's obviously a lot of different theories about what that could be. There's a theory of like the trans brain thing of like, do we have gendered brains? And is it like you have a female brain or a male brain or whatever? I don't put a ton of weight in that theory because there's like so little evidence for it. There's also the idea of, and one I lean to it being more likely is maybe this is just something that is in flux early in your life and stabilizes at some point and can't move from that point. Similar like sexuality stuff. There's also the theory of like the hormones in during pregnancy that could be a thing. Or it could be a gene for all we know. But for what we do know, it seems to be a fixed thing. Hence, you can't have like, because if it's something that could change over time, then you could have it therapied away, because it's something that can be changed. You agree with cognitive dissonance thing. You enjoy presenting as masc, but it still sucks when you have femme days and can't present as femme. That could be something to do with it. Take your time. Those matters don't pass easily. Yeah, true. It does take a lot of time to process all that stuff. Yeah, for sure. The feeling bad about compliments thing is entirely valid. Yeah. I don't feel like I can communicate properly what it is, but like, I don't know. Many people feel horribly awkward about being complimented. It's not that I feel awkward about it. Or at least when you see me fucking password generate, that's me feeling awkward about it. But if I'm like crying, like bad crying, like sad crying, that's something else. That's not me feeling awkward. That's me feeling like upset. And yeah, I don't really know how to communicate why I feel upset. Like it makes sense in my mind, but I don't know how to communicate that to other people yet. Still don't know how to react to compliments. Yeah. And I don't have any trauma related to any of this. This is just a random thing that's just happened. I'm almost caught up, okay? Your wife has a similar thing because you'll say she's cute and she's like, no, I'm not, because her internal concept of self doesn't include even the possibility of being seen as cute. Like, yes, I have that, but that's when you'll get my password generation. It's not when you'll get me like actually getting upset. Neither did I. I had dysphoria until I started coming out. You had zero dysphoria until you started coming out. I had other things you'd supplemented to that pain into. Now you've come out, you don't have those things, but you do get dysphoric at times. Yeah, it just, I don't know. I feel very confident that there wasn't a dysphoria, and that like, I don't know. I don't know. Isn't it premenstrual? Oh, it might be premenstrual. Point is, it's part of a menstrual cycle. PMS. Yeah, you're right. It's premenstrual. My bad. Premenstrual syndrome. I don't know if that doesn't make grammatical sense. It should be premenstruation syndrome, but whatever. Or premenstrual cycle syndrome. But yeah. Entirely hormonal. Yeah, I think a lot of the main things that people feel with PMS is the hormone things, or at least those are the main things that I hear people like complain about. But like to some extent, the physical stuff is there as well. Like if you've seen women carrying around painkillers, like that's why, and they're usually carrying the painkillers at a certain time of the month. That's because they're in a little bit of pain and discomfort. Super normal. Because like again, menstruation is like quite a physical thing. Could always be that together, or could change but cannot be controlled. Stained Glass Woman has some fantastic writings on the subject of sublimating dysphoria and how that plays out as you move into realization of your own state. Yeah, maybe. I don't know about this whole sublimating. I don't know. I don't think that's what's happening with me, because there was no original dysphoria. So like, what there isn't something that could sublimate to somewhere. Do you know what I mean? Like there isn't. Like, how can it sublimate to a different area if it didn't exist in the first place? You know. Does anyone else feel like they look good in the mirror and then, but in pictures look disgusting? All of me is like, ugh. Especially now that I'm like more conscious of it, it's like, ugh. Like, hey, mirror me is probably worst me. Yeah. Writes fantastic essays on trans topics. I'll check it out. I am caught up on chat. Okay. Real talk, I should play bass. What do you mean I should play bass? What do you... get off the fucking stand. What do you mean I should play bass? Fucking... Oh god, I haven't touched this in ages. It's probably way out of tune as well, and it doesn't have any battery, so I can't use its built-in tuner. What's a simple one that I remember? Fuck, hang on. I need to remember this, because I am going to hate my life if I can't remember this. Yeah, that is where it starts. I have never done this with headphones on. Where can the cable go? Is that fine? Is that snagging? No, that's fine. Yeah, that feels totally fine. No, Is that right? Yeah. Rough. Oh, you can't even see my bass. Fuck it. What do you mean I should play bass? I already play bass. Badly. And barely practice. And haven't touched that fucking bass in months. Lamau. Point of sublimation is that you have something acting as a cover for something else you cannot handle. Like, yeah. That could make sense. I just like super didn't experience any of that beforehand. Which is like, yeah. Music distraction, yeah. Play more, practice. I should practice. Yeah, no, you're right. Hells yeah, I play bass. I've been focused on other things. Since starting ADHD meds, although I'm now out of ADHD meds and waiting for my next appointment because we had some appointment issues because I totally missed my appointment. Actually playing. I'm not playing right now. Fuck you. I can't just riff. I'm not skilled enough at bass to even know how to just riff. But yeah, my main thing right now is just like academics and like working, essentially. I like working now. Probably because in the past I haven't been able to make myself work, and now I have meds, and meds I can just work, so I really enjoy doing that. But yeah, that's what's been going on. That's where I'm at emotionally. I've stabilized a little bit now, which is why I'm okay talking to you guys about it. I mean, you can probably tell I'm a little distressed doing so, because I'm really bad with talking about my emotions, and it's like a very difficult experience for me. But at the same time, like, it's a necessary thing. Like, I know, logically, I know it's good for me to talk about my emotions. And, like, that's a thing you're supposed to do. And I think it would also be a good idea to, like, try to do so as, like, you know, as cringe as it is to say, like, I am in some ways a community leader here. So I think I'm portraying something good by showing you guys me expressing my emotions. Even like the negative ones, because like that encourages you guys to do that with your friends and stuff. So like there's that as well. Like I want to be a good role model. Okay, now you feel similar to Finster. Yeah, fuck you. Because you both talk about your emotional stuff on streams without getting too involved emotionally into experiencing emotions in real time. Oh, yeah, so this is that alexithymia thing where, like, I can't... How do I put this? Okay, this is either going to make sense to you or it's not. I would split my brain into two versions of me. There are my emotions, and then there is my, like, logical thought. And I very much exist in the logical thought area. And the emotions are just like, sometimes I'll notice them, but rarely. So I can never, like, I can't really show you the emotions because I have like zero, like that's like territory that I very rarely step in. But I can give you the logical side because that's where I exist most of the time. And I'm very familiar with that environment. Think of it as like two places. Like, you have like two houses, like a semi-detached house, okay? So two houses attached to each other. You have the emotion house and you have the logic house, or like reasoning house. And the reasoning house is where I basically live. And sometimes I just get randomly teleported to the emotions house and have zero control of that. And it's completely foreign territory for me. And I've never been there before. So, and I have zero control of that. And then I'll get teleported back. Or like reasoning side of me will take over and like shut down those fucking emotions. I'm very good at shutting down my emotions. I'm not very good at doing the opposite. So like, yeah. So that's basically how I will end up communicating my emotions to you because that's the only way I'm really capable of it. Like I do this in therapy too. And my therapist has to like move me in places to try and make me feel something in real time because it's really, really, I just can't do it myself. Also, I should, like, I have, so I used to get therapy like 2 years ago. And I have emailed my therapist yesterday to be like, hey, can we like start doing therapy again and talk about this subject? And that's totally fine. And I'm booked in and that's fine. So just so you guys are aware of that. And like when you're having issues, you should go to therapy too. That is me expressing discomfort. Feels like you just observe yourself experiencing emotions like a scientist, observing some environmental stuff, taking notes but not participating. That is exactly how I feel, yeah. But barely commenting on what is observed. That is exactly how I feel, yeah. That's like a perfectly accurate summary. Yeah. The duality has its roots in some really ancient Aristotelian thought. It's essentially the source of the idea that women are emotional and men are rational. Yeah, no, I think these are like just two parts of every person. It's great therapy. It's amazing. Yeah, he's a really good therapist. Like he's just really good. So yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's how you and Finn talk about emotions on stream. Yeah. It sounds like Finn has a similar situation there. I mean, like, I've never met the guy, so like I don't fucking know. But yeah. Dixie? I don't know what Dixie is. You guys can ask questions if you want to, because it's probably like useful for me to answer questions, because that will help me to like think about my emotions and what's up, and like build a clearer picture. You literally live on the same island. Come on. Oh, is this like a person? Dixie. Dixie is a shop. Dixie is a jewelry shop. Is Dixie a YouTuber? Dixie YouTube. Who's Dixie? I don't know who the fuck Dixie is. Oh, sorry. Me and Finn live on the same island. Yes, we do. In like, yeah, both in England and possibly in the logic verse, whatever, reasoning verse emotions. Sigh, inhales. Yeah, whatever. Fuck off. ADHD tangent activate. Yeah, fuck you. I'm out of meds, remember? Dixie equals I have said all that I had to say, and thus the argument is settled. It's Latin. Oh, wait, really? Wait. ADHD tangent. Dixie Latin? Dixie, a Latin expression, literally translated as I have spoken. I fucking love that. When used, it usually means I have said all that I had to say, and thus the argument is settled. Okay. How do you use it in a sentence? Example sentence. Like, I assume you don't just say Dixie. Like, is there a... Or do you just say Dixie? Can you use Dixie in a sentence? I have spoken. That's, wait, what's that from? I've said enough. No, how do you use Dixie in a sentence? Like, while being grammatically correct. You think that both parts are the whole, there is no separation, and all artificial walls put in are entirely due to the trauma of socialization into modern society. Yeah, so to like, I guess we could go into this. Mandalorian, that's what it is. Yeah. Going into my fucking lore, Jesus Christ. Okay, let's start with I don't really have much trauma. And like, when we say trauma with me, we're talking about something very different to what we say with most people. Like, I don't have these big traumatic events. To make that super clear right off the bat. Now, to talk about what socialization I have experienced that has, me and my therapist theorize might be the source of all this alexithymia bullshit, is I was basically bullied pretty bad at school. So when I was 4 years old, we moved from the south of England, Essex, to the north of England. And that's pretty far. And if you know much about England, you'll know that accents are hugely different, even if you just go an hour away. So now going from one end of the country to the other, very, very different. And I went from a big city to a tiny village. It was just a tiny farming village, okay? So all of the people at school were just from farming communities. Were literally like half of their parents were farmers. And then here comes me, city kid, with this weird ass voice, who's also half Spanish, who looks weird and sounds weird and is weird. Okay? And is 4 years old, I will again state. So I immediately was bullied like crazy and was completely socially outcast. And at 4 years old, that is a problem because like that's really important for like that's when socialization is happening. Like you kind of need your social stuff to be going well between the ages of 3 and 5, and mine very much wasn't. So one of the results of that, the way British people bully people is they will do something to make you feel a strong emotion or just like feel like bad about something, and then they will bully you for feeling bad about it. And that's how bullying works here. So the core of bullying isn't that initial thing. It's making you feel like bad about feeling bad. It's like this weird gaslighty thing. I don't know why, that's just how we bully here. Yeah. So how that manifests in me, we think, is I kind of have been socialized from a very, very early age to just turn off my emotions. Yeah, soul string, stop hitting yourself, yeah, that sort of thing. And like there was some more serious stuff that happened as well. Like I have one memory of just like kids throwing stones at me, or like a kid in particular, like, straight up just throwing like stones at me. Just cause. But yeah, so yeah. So we reckon that's probably like essentially socialized and like trained me to just turn my emotions off and like distance myself from my emotions as much as possible, such that I barely even know that they're present. Which has now led to where I am now, where I'm like super fucking disconnected from my emotions. And like, yeah, I like literally, it's not that I'm suppressing my emotions, it's that I don't even know they're there in the first place. And like, I will turn my emotions off, like subconsciously. Like I will do it before even knowing I've done it. And I can only know it's happened after the fact. Yeah, like I do it reflexively. I've worked on that with my therapist, and I can now have some familiarity with my emotions, and with some effort, I can stop that reflex from kicking in quite so soon, or I can like be ready for it and prevent it. Yeah. Honestly, sounds really similar to your experience. Moved from France and got bullied both in France and when you moved to the UK. And yeah, you really struggle to feel emotions, often just being hollow. Yeah, I see most of that's like, yeah, that's a pretty similar story to me, except instead of moving countries, it was moving from one end of the country to the other. Yeah. Okay, well, you guys can fucking think about that for a little bit. I need to go pee. I'll be right back. Okie dokie, I'm back. Ugh. I do not enjoy emotions existing. Okay. End result for you, you cannot feel happy about getting a gift. Like you know intellectually that you're happy, but you're feeling happy is not there. Let me just find... Oh, because you had a similar thing. Yeah. That's valid. soul strings. You tried to suppress emotions, but you just couldn't. Too many emotions, so even when I wanted to shut it off to protect yourself, to be normal, you couldn't. Hence, you being called a psychopath. Huh. So, we're gonna get really deep into it. Fuck. So when I think psychopath, I'm thinking someone who like is kind of more what I'm describing, of like doesn't feel emotions and is like totally cold and all of that sort of shit. So if you're feeling a lot of emotions, I'm thinking of like the total opposite. So generally you're never really able to suppress it. And with HRT, it was like, holy fridge, you don't have to try anymore. You can just experience emotions with no guilt. Yeah. Yeah, so my emotions have like, I have more of them now. Or like I'm more in touch with them. I don't have more of them. They've just like been magnified, but it's still very difficult for me. But even enjoying the fridge, I really enjoy that you say fridge. Been enjoying the fridge out of it ever since. Yeah, you just love emotions, all of them, enjoyed them your whole life, but was always punished for experiencing them. Yeah, I probably had something similar going on. So I also, I've never been diagnosed with anything with this. In fact, the diagnosis doesn't exist anymore, at least in the UK, because it was removed from the manual for diagnosing, the DSM. Yes, sociopathy and psychopathy are removed from DSM, so one couldn't be diagnosed with them. But I theorize that if that was a thing you could still get, I would probably be diagnosed with that, because of like the way my emotions work, and like I don't really this is like rough to talk about. I can like feel it in the pit of my stomach. I get that more than I get emotions. I have to like, something we worked on in therapy is like, okay, do you at least feel a physical sensation? I'm like, oh fuck yeah, okay, sometimes I do. Or like sometimes there'll be a little bit of a physical sensation. It's like, okay, let's build from there and try and figure out that as an emotion. And like try to build some concept and some connection with our emotions through like the physical manifestations of them. So I'm feeling something right in my stomach right now, which is something, I guess. Oh God. Okay. So yes. So I don't really empathize with people in the normal way. Like I don't really experience empathy at all. And when I say empathy, I'm using the technical definition there. So when you experience an emotion, that does not have any effect on me. You could be very, very sad, and I will be completely neutral. It won't impact me in whatsoever. I won't have any, like, so somebody that's experiencing empathy, the experience of empathy, if we're going with the actual definition of empathy, is when you observe an emotion, you start feeling that emotion. It's like a mimicry thing. That's like the actual definition of empathy. And I don't experience that at all. This has some benefits. If somebody is going through a fucking rough one at the moment, then I can be like really level-headed with them, and I can like support them through that, because they can just offload onto me and it just washes off me. It doesn't affect me in the slightest. That explains your dead calmness to me, info dumping and trauma dumping. Yeah, I can just do that. So like people can like hardcore trauma dump and I'm completely fine because it just doesn't affect me at all. I feel a bit weird about that being a thing, but also I can't do anything about that. And I know it can be a good thing, like Soul Strings is saying right now. Not as a bad thing because you were a great listener. You just felt a bit detached and distanced, yeah. But it felt like you were just in control of your emotions and good at handling them. Yeah. So I just don't really experience empathy, like, at all. I do experience sympathy. So, again, go back to the emotions and reasoning thing. I can reason my way, like, I know what you're feeling because I can reason my way through it. And I know how it feels because I can reason my way through it. Like, I can be like, oh, you're telling me this experience? most people feel this way when they have that experience. I've felt this way when I've had this similar experience. I know, like, rationally and logically, I know what it is that you're feeling. Again, like that scientist observing thing. I know what the emotion is that you are feeling, but I'm not feeling it. So like I don't like absorb other people's emotions, but I can like obviously understand what they are. Like if you're feeling sad, I know you're feeling sad because I can like reason my way there. So yes, there is some in my mind there is some suspicion of like some sociopathy or something like that, because I just do have zero empathy at all, which isn't, to be that level isn't super normal. I think my main discomfort in talking about that is I worry about other people's judgment, and we're like are people gonna like freak out or like distrust me or have negative feeling towards me or just judgment towards me for not having that empathy as I've laid out in that definition. And I know that like you guys are nice and you're not gonna, but like I think that's what that is. Oh god, this is so you can also notice I am like obviously a little uncomfortable, and like it's fine and I don't mind, and like it's okay, I'm consenting to this and it's fine, but you'll notice I am like not actually displaying much emotion. Like you'll never see me cry on stream. I barely even cry in the first place, and like I think only cry in front of my boyfriend. I know I've cried in front of my best friend. I think my boyfriend and my 3 inner circle people of like my boyfriend and my 2 best friends, I think I could cry in front of those. And I think that's the maximum. And I think to be crying in front of my 2 best friends, I'd need a really strong emotion. Yeah. Okay. You have a hard time to empathize. However, having been a care worker, you've learned to fake it. Yeah, so that's sympathy instead of empathy. Like you can understand the emotion, you're just not feeling it with them. Yeah, but that both a strength and a weakness. Your wife being in absolute bits about her childhood trauma and me be like, I feel no strong emotion either way is not appropriate, but like, yeah, so like it can be useful to people that are in that situation, because like, yes, you're not feeling any strong emotion, but that can be useful to them because that can be, you can be the stable thing for them. So like a friend of mine back in COVID got scammed out of £80,000. That's a huge amount of money. That's her entire life savings, and they got scammed out of all of it. So obviously they were like emotionally fucked. They were materially fucked. Like it was just a really serious situation. So yeah, that was pretty fucked. And like once they actually talked to me about it, they just like cried. Like if I say like good crying and bad crying, like good crying being like cathartic and you feel better afterwards, bad crying being like you're just fucking sobbing your brain out and you feel horrible and it's all awful. It was bad crying for like literally 5 minutes straight. I don't mean like for 5 minutes, like people like literally like think of a timer, think of like 60 seconds times 5, like that's a long time. Yeah, very extreme crying for like 5 minutes, and I felt nothing, but I was able to just hold her and hug her for that whole period, and like it was fine, and I was able to like support her afterwards, and like that was a situation, Cosworthy. And like I was able to just support her all night, and she felt a lot better the next day, because I didn't have that super strong emotional experience. I could be like super calm and super logical about like, okay, how can I best support this person in this moment? So like it's not a bad thing, and I know it's not a bad thing, and like it allows me to be more emotionally supportive. But just talking about it still feels really rough for me. To be fair, also media portrayal of things like sociopathy or even diagnosable things like BPD or DID is shit. It's the same way people with autism used to be demonized when none of these are inherently violent conditions or anything like that. BPD and bipolar disorder, and DID being dissociative identity disorder. Yeah, I know about Yeah, yeah. It probably is like a cultural thing of like sociopathy and stuff, and like not feeling empathy, and how all those things are like triggering my brain to make these connections of like, oh, you mean like the thing like this in that fucking horror movie or whatever. Yeah. Holy shirt balls, that's so much money. Yeah. It was pretty bad. That was a really rough time for her. So she cried in my arms for a solid like 5 minutes. It was probably longer, to be honest. Just continually just cried, no words, just crying. Just while I was hugging her. And then once she like started to like recover a little bit, or I guess it just ran out of tears, I bought I bought us each waffles, and just ordered them online, like on Just Eat, and then we ate chocolate waffles, like restaurant waffles, waffles, and watched SpongeBob for like all night, and just had a little cuddle on the couch. It was very, very rough for her. I couldn't imagine it. I mean, I've never had that much money that I could lose. Like, I've never owned more than, I think the most I've ever had was like $5,000 total. Yeah. I currently have like minus 800, I think. I'm very in the red right now, but yeah, I've been very in the red for years. But that's a different topic. Makes me feel weirdly good for never being able to have any savings. Yeah. Horty Dolce and SpongeBob. Yeah, 100%. I don't know what Horty Dolce is, but I'm guessing it's a waffle thing. Horty Dolce. Okay, it looks incredible. Our menu. Choose a store, choose a random store. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like their desserts. Oh, do you have? Yeah, they do waffles. Yeah, this kind of... Oh, whoa. No. That's some tiny ass bullshit waffle. £12. I need you guys to see what I'm looking at. Codsworthy. 12 quid for this. Let me show you. Okay. This is a much cheaper store. Casper's. That just showed my address. Whoopsie. Boo. Let me just... So that doesn't show my address again, just in case. Our menu. Oh, hells yeah. Yo, those winter specials look awesome. That's a new thing. Giant American waffles. Fuck yeah. This is what I'm talking about. When I say waffles, I mean this. This is what I'm talking about. This is the sort of thing we were having. Fuck yeah. Yeah. They removed a whole bunch of flavors. There were like so much more before. Rip. Like, where's the Chocoholic? Yeah, they got rid of a Chocoholic. That's bullshit. That was my favourite. Oh well. Yeah. What were we talking about? I just fucking ADHD'd. Yeah, there's a Casper's in Liverpool. You should check it out. It's really good. Highly recommend. Crying without words is like having it all cycled inside non-stop without it getting any better. Yeah. Like washing machine that never runs out of power on water. Pain emotions. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. Oh, we used to only be a desserts restaurant? That's fair. I recommend Casper's. How do you dox yourself in every stream? I know, right? It's crazy. I'll probably just go through the stream afterwards because I was only there for like a moment. I'll just like snip it in the YouTube editor. Hence talking during crying is important because that stops you from just cycling it all inside and finally letting something out. Yeah, she just wasn't able to yet. Like she literally just cried without words sort of thing. until she'd literally like, I think just physically wasn't capable of crying anymore, and then told me about it. So like I don't even know what this issue was yet. I just knew that it was something, and it was something bad. I need a nice little ducks myself graphic. Yeah, true. What I need, okay, H3 Productions. I don't really watch them, but like I've heard they have a button, and that button will like delete the last 30 seconds of a VOD or something. I don't really know how it works. I guess you'd have to have quite high latency, but I need something like that where I can just be like, oh, delete the last 5 seconds. I guess that means I'd have to have a 5-second delay though, which sucks. But yeah, if there is like a thing that I can do, like a hotkey to be like, oh, delete that last 5 seconds, then I need to, that would be really useful. I need that. Learn find group therapy after spending a month in mental asylum. Damn. Yeah. Oh. But yeah, so there's what's going on with me. There's a whole fucking info dump on me, and my emotions. Do I use sticky notes or reminders on your desk monitor or whatnot? No, I don't. I used to. I just got through all my stickies. I usually like set reminders on my phone and stuff if you're talking about like ADHD tasks. The problem is I just ignore the sticky notes, so which doesn't work. And like assuming I haven't run out, which like that will be a issue that is resolved soon, that will no longer happen. Like yeah, the ADHD seems to, the meds like do a good job. Like I'll just choose a few tasks that I'm doing that day and I'll just do them. So you should add one sticky note right now. What is that? Don't forget the background music. Oh my gosh, yeah. Okay, I did remember the background music, but I figured let's talk for a little bit. Be alright, because we've gotten through a lot of what we were talking about, so let's go put the background music on. What screen are we on? Yeah, that's fine. We'll go that one first, because I always do it the other way around. If it's going to play. Okay, bear with, because I'm going to need to change the volume on OBS. So just give me a second. Okay, do you still hear the music? I think I just completely muted it. There you go. Okay, how's that as like a balance? You put literal sticky notes on the side of your laptop. Yeah, that would probably work better for me. Problem with permanent sticky notes about background music is they become part of the background of your life. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happens to me. I ended up just using those sticky notes. Should be fine for now. Okay, cool. Let me know if I need to change it again. You can tell me to turn it up as well if you need me to. But yeah, I ended up just using my sticky notes for fucking Minecraft and like noting down like XYZ coordinates. Watching on my, well, you're watching me on your main setup big screen with cinema surround. That's really cool. And that music is coming out of a Rares, which is cool. That's sick. That's really cool. This helps me to not feel emotions or be distracted from them. I feel myself calming down, which is good. yeah, I guess if you guys have questions about stuff with me, then you are allowed to ask them if you want to. Is your emotions? Yeah, it's super valid. Yeah, you're welcome to ask any questions you want to. I don't mind asking or answering questions about me and my emotions. I don't mind that in any way. Wait, did that move me? Which way did that move me? I need to be moving it. No, that is okay. I do want it to be like over here. Yeah. That's what, that there is my emotions. Want to practice bass? Not right now. Not right now. Okay. Real talk. I pick up the bass like every 6 months. Like, I'm not practiced in bass. I barely even know, like me practicing at bass is just me, it's just me, like, playing things that I've already learned. And, like, practicing those things. I don't know how to, like, riff. Yeah. Hans 96 mixtape. That's cool. Like, Guardians of the Galaxy sort of stuff. No, that's 80s, isn't it? Depends on the 90s stuff we're talking about. Yo, mixtapes? I just have my playlist, dude. I never did mixtapes. I couldn't fucking... This is so fucking cringe. We couldn't, like, afford CDs and stuff when I was a kid. Because my parents were pretty low earners and were also shit with money. So I just kind of didn't have things. I had some things, but... Wow, Jesus. Bought 30 odd cassettes for roughly €2.50. Wow, it's really cheap now. Now going through them. Found like amazing stuff you never heard of. FOMO is just strong. I mean, just... YouTube can do that. Just put songs into YouTube and then see what it suggests. How could you miss that? Yeah. Oh, I see, like, missing mixtapes. I understand now. A playlist is just a mixtape for Gen Z. Yeah, it is, it is. Mixtapes were length limit, made them super impactful. Yeah, also just it being a physical thing is like a thing. Like, you can hand somebody a mixtape. And I think that's a very different thing to sharing from your playlist. There's something about just humans and, like, a physical thing existing that makes it different. I think, at least. Like, I think I probably would have really enjoyed mixtapes back in the day. It's just not something that I guess could afford to engage with, so... Yeah, I agree with that, Soul Strings. That said, like, I still prefer online because it's the utility trumps everything. Like, if I go to, like, my playlist, can I can't really show you this. Because my Spotify is linked to my Facebook. Yeah, I can't do this. Well, I can just tell you how many tracks are in there. So my playlist is very, like, super incomplete. This is like a fraction of the music I listen to. And there are 1,438 tracks. So, like, just the price of that to physically have that is like, no way. And that's just a fraction of the music I actually listen to. The feeling of finding an album you've been hunting for in a record store is pretty unique for sure. Yeah. I can get that. I never had that, but, like, I could get that. Screw the utility, screw the accessibility, screw the no effort, get anything instantly approach. It's not what we are designed for. I disagree. Like, I guess, picture it from someone who, because I don't have much money now and I never grew up with any money, like, it's not a matter of, like, have it the easy way or have it the way that takes effort. It's the get to have this thing or don't get to have this thing at all. Like, if I don't have things like Spotify or YouTube, I just don't get to have music in my life because I can't afford it. I just can't. So, like, you have to some extent, like, except that there needs to be utility, because otherwise, like, nobody gets to enjoy it. Yeah. Like in some things, yeah. You know, you need you can't just give somebody a full-time income without them doing any work, because like they'll just fucking like have nothing. They'll have no purpose. But like, yeah, we still need conveniences in life. In the past, you'd have just listened to radio. Yeah, I guess. Well, yeah, you can. Yeah. So in the car, yes. Radio on your phone, I guess you would need some speakers and headphones. I could probably have saved up for some speakers. Yeah, I suppose radio. I kind of don't enjoy any of the music on the radio, so like that would be part of that. Like I would, again, probably just not listen to music much. Like even on the radio now, so like I do drive to places and I have a radio in a car, and it is just an FM radio, because I got a very cheap car. Like I can't connect my phone to my car, and yeah, I just listen to like the news basically. Like Radio 4 is what we have over here, and it's just like news, politics, and stuff like that. I don't listen to music because I just don't enjoy any pop music. They made radio for music. Now they just make music for radio. I don't know. I disagree with all this cynical stuff. I think to some extent, like, different people have different tastes. And like, it's valid. And sorry, what albums really loved? Yeah, yeah. When I say I don't have much money, that's not an understatement. Like, I've been in for red for years. My bank account right now, this is the wealthiest I've been in a while. I have... Wow, this is big time the wealthiest I've been in a while, because I have already paid my rent and stuff. I have minus 660 quid. So I've got 340 quid remaining of my overdraft. So I'm 640 in the red, which is, given that my bills have just gone out, that's really good. Yeah. So just to give you like the line, like if I get a big scary bill now, I can't pay for it. I just have to ask Robin for some money, ask my boyfriend. Yeah, so like when we say that I don't have much money, like I don't buy things for myself because I don't have money. Money for me goes into bills or things I need, or Transnetwork. Robin did just buy me a dress because I needed a dress for the wedding. And he bought that for me. I wouldn't have been able to afford it. Yeah. As a child who grew up on benefits, you want music very occasionally, and owning it was special. Yeah. I kind of like, when I can do without it, I do without it, so that I can move towards financial stability. Don't ask about how infrared you are. Yeah. I was worse, but my bank forced me to, like, oh god, it was so, god, a couple of years ago it was really fucking bad. So I was minus 2,000. And then when I hit minus 1,500, they capped it to minus 1,500, which fucked me because I had rent to go out still. That was why I had a bit more money, because rent hadn't gone out yet. And then so suddenly I didn't have rent. And then so it was like emptying all of mine and my boyfriend's savings to pay rent that month. And then, yeah, the same thing happened when I got past 1,000. They fucking limited me to 1,000 and we were fucked. Yeah. Ugh. For those that were here, I don't think any of you guys were here in the early days of Transnetwork. We did a couple of sponsorships. And like they were really good. Like I got an £800 sponsorship and a £600 sponsorship. And I don't know what would have happened if I didn't get that money. because we didn't have that money. And it ended up having to go out on things. And yeah, I genuinely don't know what happens if I didn't get that money. Something happens, I guess. Yeah. I guess my boyfriend would have had to go in a red as well. Yeah. The sucky bit about that. How are we talking about my emotions again? The sucky thing about that is he actually earns pretty well. Like, he's doing really well. I'm just kind of a burden financially because my earnings are so low. And then obviously doing trans network, my earnings have gone down even more. So it's like, ugh. But like that, my earnings are enough that I'm stable right now. And like my finances are slowly going up. Not sure. They might now not be going up because therapy. Which, that's what a shit situation. But I'm hoping like within a few students that'll stabilize again. Like once we get a few more students, or I guess, hey, if you want to support the Ko-fi, now's a really good time. But yeah, whatever. You know it's somewhere in the mid 5 figures range for how in the red you are. Are you miscounting? That's like tens of thousands. You have an incredible situation, you feel, but you have a boyfriend here. As in, like, you are the higher earner? When you say tens of thousands, what do you mean? Like, I also have my student debt, but that doesn't count. I'm not including my student debt. What do you mean by mid 5 figures range? Do you mean tens of thousands? Because that's... I don't even think it's possible over here, at least. No bank is going to give you an overdraft if it's tens of thousands. I guess you could just get some big fucking loans. Yeah, when I say I'm in red, I'm just talking about my my bank overdraft. So like my bank says minus £640. You have a high earner. We have credit and debts worth 10k plus overdrafts. Yeah, okay, but yeah, so like, no, all sorts of countries have student debt. Yeah, so I guess it depends on exactly what you're including by codsworthy. Like if it's anything below like 5% interest, doesn't really count. Like that's good debt to have. You want that kind of debt. Yeah. Do we need to talk finances with y'all? Do I need to teach you guys finances? That's another thing that sucks. I actually am really financially literate. I just don't have any money to fucking do anything with that. Like if I had money, I could make so much more money. And I was before. Like this isn't theoretically. During COVID, I was actually pretty financially stable, and like, yeah, I was like, my fucking stocks were exploding. I saved up like $6,000 in a year. Yeah, soul strings. That's kind of my situation. Like my earnings are low and my outgoings are low. Part of like how I'm surviving now is just I've stripped everything back to the essentials. Like if I go over to my finances thing, monthly budget. Yeah, so I've literally just, it's just insurances, phone, car, rent, and like my laser appointments. My laser appointments are the only like, you could call it a luxury expenditure if you wanted to. Yeah. Blech. Yeah, like my outgoings are £911 and 4 pence a month. And then my earnings are 1,181.67 a month. No worries, Aspara. Thanks for coming by. Have a good time soon. Supporting your wife through therapy and trauma and getting her back to work has been draining your savings. Yeah, this has kind of been... So, like, it's not been an issue of me not being at work. Let me go into this as well. So, I'm a gardener. Or, like, before Trans Network, that's my thing. And, like, half of my income right now... No, most of my income right now is from the gardening, but I still do. To support Trans Network and support me. After COVID... This is going to sound stupid, but it's true. After COVID, or at the end of COVID, I got my gardening business to the point where it was pretty much fully booked. So my earnings were pretty decent. And then, so me and my boyfriend moved in together. My earnings were good, his earnings were good, so it was all fine. Then, within like a month or so of us moving in together, or literally as we were moving in together, I think, or like just before, I think. Yeah, just before we moved in together, Russia invades Ukraine. How is that relevant? It's relevant because there was, as a result, a global financial crisis. Because both Russia and Ukraine are big trading partners for a lot of the world and affect a lot of fucking supply chains. So, as some of you might remember, global financial thing. In the UK, we called it a cost of living crisis. And yeah, everything was super expensive and nobody had much money. Now, again, I'm a gardener. That makes my service a luxury service. You can live without a gardener. And so the first thing people did when their budgets were getting tighter was they cut me loose. So suddenly I lost a third of my business. Yeah, so a third of my income overnight was deleted. Big fucking problem. And then, like, I think by the end of, like, people, like, by the time it settled out, I'd lost about half the business. So literally, my income was cut in half, and everything got more expensive, all at the same time. So I was kind of fucked. So yeah, that basically just destroyed my finances, and I went from having, like, savings to being zero, and literally my net value being a negative amount. Like, if I passed away, they would need to go to someone to pay off my debts, because I did not, my, like, total value was in the negative. Maybe if they sold all my stuff, it'd be okay. I'm not sure. So yeah. Yeah, so I've just been slowly recovering since then. Yeah. At one point in your life, you were owing 8k in debts, knuckled down and got it paid off. That's good, well done. And is it with, like, 8k savings? Wow. However, moving house has burnt a lot of savings. Yeah. Yeah, gas, fuel, grain, everything went up through the roof. Because think gas, fuel, grain, that's the core of, like, so many fucking industries. Like, most food has grain in it, so all food went up. And even if, like chicken doesn't have grain in it, but how do you think you feed for chickens? So... Oh, is that how it works in the UK? Fair enough. I mean, hopefully I don't die, so, like, it's fine. And, like, if you sold all my stuff now, like, it would cover my debts. But yeah, point is just, yeah, financially things have been very scary, and are getting better, and we're just working through it. Yeah. Yeah, so the way I survive right now is just my outgoings are very small, which means my earnings can be very small, which meant I could do things with Trans Network. So you'll better be fucking grateful. Because I kind of, like, bankrupted myself to do this. But in the long term, it'll be worth it. They now come down, but the old adage of prices always go up and seldom come down still rules today. Yeah, so, okay, people do not understand finances. Prices go up and seldom come down is a good thing. If they go down, everything gets fucked. Because the economy requires inflation to exist for like a whole bunch of reasons. For example, if we had deflation, that means the value of everything you own has just dropped. And like everything you own has just suddenly lost a huge bunch of value. Everybody, if you have deflation happen, everybody just instantly gets a huge amount poorer, which completely destroys your economy. So that's one thing. Two, inflation is actually a really important thing for the job market. Just because of a little human psychology thing. You will feel happier if your company fires someone versus if everybody just takes a small pay cut. I know you might feel differently about it logically, but that is the emotional experience of people. They would rather someone lose their job and that potentially being them. Like they'd rather that roll of a dice than just everybody shares that burden with a small pay cut. It's very heavily studied and is a very known thing. So to combat that, and not have to suddenly fire people every time there is a downwards in the market, we have inflation. So because of inflation, you get constant pay rises, which makes your brain feel good to meet inflation, but actually nothing's changing. And if they need to give you a pay cut, instead of giving you a pay cut, they can just not give you a pay rise and therefore not meet inflation and start recouping those costs, which means they don't have to fire someone. So that's really important that that can be a thing. Specific market deflation is fine, like if the price of petrol drops. Yeah, that can be fine. Yes, but that's, even with that though, that only works in specific markets. So like the cost of fuel can go down and that's fine. But like if the cost of I don't know, if the cost of computer hardware went down, that would probably be a really big problem. This particular thing, Codsworthy, is like, it's not just game theory, like it's that's one we have a lot of evidence for. I know what you mean, because game theory is largely theoretical. A lot of these things are largely theoretical, but this is one of those phenomena that's been really heavily studied. I can't bring you anything right now because I wouldn't even know what to search, but my understanding at least is we have like specific examples of this happening, like lots of case studies. But yeah. I think that's gotten through everything I wanted to talk about. We'll see what chat says though. You might give me more things to talk about. Let's talk about other things than my emotions. Real thing is the bosses won't take pay cuts to save staff. This is okay. You have to keep in mind that people are not just bad people, and just because somebody has money doesn't make them a bad person. It's actually really common that bosses will take pretty huge pay cuts to save the company. That's closer to the norm than outside of the norm. That's like super fucking common. Even like huge corporate businesses like fucking Riot Games is probably the biggest company I can think of in the gaming industry. And before laying off a bunch of people they laid off, all of the upper management took huge fucking pay cuts to try and keep the business going. to like try to avoid laying people off. That was during the big computing industry layoffs, which is why they were one of the last companies that had to do that. Or why people theorized that they were going to be like the one company that weren't having to, and people didn't really know why. And it's because it turned out all upper management had taken huge pay cuts. Yeah, it's actually really common that bosses will take huge pay cuts to keep their business alive, because what they value is the long-term potential success. Because like, even if you think about it from just a selfish perspective, like, your long-term is what matters, you know? You take a short-term reduction so that in the long term you can make gains. And if your company is thriving better, then your company is thriving better. So yeah, I mean, most companies, like, obviously most bosses want their companies to succeed. That's like the whole thing of being a boss. Yeah. But yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to talk about a wedding. Wedding was really nice. It was my my boyfriend's cousin that got married. It was a really nice wedding. Do I want to show you pictures? Ugh. Given the current thing with me in my image, fuck it. If I just do it, then it's fine. Let me. Oh, I gotta. Okay, the picture's on my phone that's like edited with other people removed the photo. Okay, this is the best photo I can show you guys. That is like just an easy one to be able to show you, given other people existing in photos. I'm going to send it to myself on Facebook. At least I have booberness. I spent so long. I spent like hours building boober. And like practicing for boober for this. And I was in pain all day to make this cleavage exist. This was a whole situation. Okay, yeah. Screen share. Oh, you're doing flowers in your balcony. That's super cute. Well, yeah, that's oh, it's a bad photo. It's a bad photo. That's what it looks like at the wedding. Svez's dress. You can see a little bit of boob of that. Never mind. Get off my screen. Get off my screen. There you go. You got to have that. I think when I'm trying to look better, that's when it's worse, because I see myself failing to look good. Fucking... Oh, do I have to fucking put it on screen again? This is what I'm talking about, by the way. Oh, God. Like, look at all those fucking lines. Look at that fucking huge fucking jaw. I look like some fucking behemoth in that fucking nice dress. Like, ugh. Horrendous. Fucking horrendous. Get off my screen. Yeah, I know. Okay, so this is like me giving you some of like... This is what I'm feeling. Yeah, okay, so that's what everybody's been telling me, Codsworthy. I don't know. I think I look really bad in that photo. To give you like where my brain is at, I guess. I just see a dude in a dress that's not making it work at all. I think that's the first one where, I mean, you don't see much of me from the neck down, because like, of the table and shit. But, like, from the neck down, I'm okay with it. I think because I can see some boob. Like, I have cleavage in that picture, which is really cool. And fucking was, like, very uncomfortable, but They fucking made it happen. Beauty is pain. But yeah. You get a vote? Yeah. 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 Ugh. I thought I was going to do not emotions. The wedding was a nice wedding. Go over. The wedding was a nice wedding. Oh my god. They had hired ice cream people. Like, you know, like... I don't know. How do I make the Americans know what this is? Okay, we have this in Pizza Hut. At least we did when I was a kid. I don't know if we still have it. But like, ice cream refills. You take your pot, you go to the ice cream machine, you leave it, and ice cream comes out. And it's like a vanilla kind of soft scoop ice cream. And it's in like a... whatever a star is, if it's like a cylindry kind of thing. But it goes out like that. Mr. Whippy, yeah. But I don't know if they have that in America. But not on a cone, like in a tub. Mr. Whippy in a tub. And then they just had a table of like sprinkles and flakes and all that sort of shit. So you could just go nuts. And you just have as much as you want. It was fucking awesome. What a brilliant idea for your wedding. And then they also just had a little sweets station. So you could just, like, there was a bunch of packets. Like little, like carnival packets or whatever. Like your popcorn would go in or something. And they just had a bunch of like huge jars full of like marshmallows and what do they have? Marshmallows. Did they have no, it wasn't Skittles. Oh, foam mice. Cola bottles. Those like strawberries sweets. Some stuff like that. Awesome idea. Like, why go to the bar and spend £5 or more? No, £6 on a drink. I got a large red wine, just house red. £6. And it was disgusting. But I could just go and get as much ice cream as I wanted. It was fucking awesome. Hells yeah. Yeah, so if I ever get married, I want one of those. I'm copying that shit. That was fucking awesome. What else has been up to? We had the wedding. Oh yes, everything. Yeah. Luna stayed home. I don't have the pictures, but Luna stayed home and we had a dog sitter who was really, really good. And Luna really, really liked her. So, you spent £12 on a large glass of wine. You spent £12 on a large glass of wine. That's insane. I can get a bottle of wine for cheaper than that. That's unbelievable. £12 for a large glass. Jesus fuck. Alcohol's gotten so expensive here for some reason. I know that like pubs and bars and stuff have like, it's like a dying industry, so that's inflating prices, but like, yeah, that's crazy. I can't believe the norm is like £5 for a drink now. That's crazy. Yeah, it's absolutely nuts. Yeah. My brain is like frazzled now. We might finish stream soon because my brain is just a little bit frazzled. Where did the £2.50 pint go? I know. Why can't I go to Spoons and get a pint for £2.50? That's crazy. Even like student bars, I bet you can't anymore. It's nuts. I feel like that happened over like 5 years as well. It suddenly doubled in price. Insane. I think it is just because obviously we had all the inflation stuff, but also pubs are dying in the UK. So that further inflates things. Because nobody goes out to drink anymore. So we're a little bit healthier, a little bit less alcoholic, and also just do our drinking indoors. Like people will just have a glass of wine at home or a bottle of wine at home rather than having wine for like triple the price at a pub. So I think that's what's happened. Okay, I'm just chatting shit now. I don't think I have anything else to talk about. I'm just trying to go through my brain. Is there anything else I wanted to talk about? I don't think so. I think that is everything. If you guys have any last questions for me, by all means ask. But yeah, I'm gonna be in the Discord today and like updating the people that couldn't make it to the stream on what's been going on and just like telling them what the situation is with my brain. So yeah, you'll see me in there, and I'll just be like filling people in on the situation basically. I don't know how long the rule will stay in place of like no like compliments to my parents and no just anything to my parents. I don't know how long that will stay in place, but for now I'll leave it up. I'll probably at least leave it up until I've had my first therapy session. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see with all of these things. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm just rambling now. Thank you all for coming. Thank you to listening to me and my emotions and helping me through that. Yeah, I guess thanks for coming, everyone. Oh, that's something I wanted to talk about. I'm going to change up the stream situation a little bit. Because the quality of my streams have been a bit shit recently. The difficulty is if I don't have a topic to talk about, I can't just like stream and chat to you guys without anything to talk about. And like, if we're doing 4 hours Monday through to Wednesday, like I just can't generate content that fast. It's just too tall of an order. Like not enough happens in my life, especially with them being like back-to-back days. Like, what can I talk about tomorrow, which I haven't already talked about today? So what we're going to do is, if I have public lessons on, then we have a stream with it too. The public lesson times are still the same. They're still Monday through to Wednesday. That is my, like, the stream times are still the stream times. But the streams will only actually be on if there is, like, some public lessons happening to break it up a little bit. And yeah. Because otherwise, what are we doing? You know? And if it's something I want to talk about, like, hells yeah, we'll do that. I had a lot of fun going through the Supreme Court stuff. I enjoy politics stuff. I had a lot of fun going through our little social media one. That was really fun for me. So, like, if we have stuff to go through, then 100% we'll be doing that. I'm just not going to do any more streams where it's like, I don't even know what the plan is for today's stream. Like, if there's not a plan, then there's not a stream. Because otherwise the quality is going to be shit and it's not going to be a good stream. So yeah, I think that's a plan. Let's check my calendar tomorrow. Is there going to be a stream tomorrow? So that means no stream tomorrow. Because I don't even know why I would be streaming. So currently the next stream would be next Tuesday. Tuesday 20th at the usual times. So we'll be starting at the normal 1 o'clock BST, and we have a public lesson at 2 o'clock. And yeah, okay, cool. Maybe I'll start a bit later. I don't know. We'll see how I'm feeling. And I've just had therapy, so I guess I can tell you guys how that went. All right, I think that's all I've got for you. I'll see you all in a week's time. Or no, next thing will be the workshop. So I'll see you guys on Saturday for our next workshop. Yeah, cool. Okay, see you Saturday. I love you all. Thank you for being here with me. And yeah, I'll see you Saturday. Right. Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye.